What up, though, One Pride? This is the Roar of the Lions UK podcast, a podcast where One Pride goes worldwide. My name is Antony Fitzpatrick. I'm joined this evening by Ryan McCluskey, which can only mean one thing. It is time for your weekly dose of college knowledge. Yes, it is the college football podcast, the 310 to Pittsburgh, the path to the draft. Has many stops. We have pro days, combines, all-star games, but we are at the very last one. Today is the last day that NFL draft prospects can talk to their prospective suitors. The next time prospects and teams will be talking to one another, Ryan McCluskey, is in a week's time when they're getting drafted.
Yep. All the culmination, the season's never really ended. The break now between the playoffs and the draft is just minimal. It just never really stops. They go from playing to working out to testing their bodies to pro day, and here we are. Yep, this time in, like you say, 8 days' time, we will hear who's going to be. We'll hear the chief commander come up on stage, and he'll call a most likely first name. But I think we're going to see some shocks this year.
I don't know about
I think
you.
some weird stuff's going to happen this year.
I don't know about you, but I have absolutely no Scooby what's going on in the first round this year. Like, even at number 2, it's all up in the air. I don't know where the tackles are going, receivers are going, corners are going. I don't know about you. It feels like one of the most up in the air first rounds in many a year, this one, because there's so little standout talent at the top. There's just a lot of really good guys who are going to be fighting it out.
Yeah. It feels like there could be a lot of misses, a lot more misses than definite hits this year. I don't feel confident, like you say, for a lot of teams, and I don't think a lot of teams really know what they're going to do either until the day. They're just going to wing it.
Yeah, and that's how it seems to be.
Not had any trades either.
No.
A week before the draft and no one's moved position. That seems really weird.
Yeah, and we have 5 teams that have multiple first-round picks this year, so you'd be thinking that some of those would be getting used. A lot of teams are not in the first round this year. Are people going to try and trade out? I think there's...
Is this the first year where they've changed the clock?
Yes.
Is it after the first round? Don't you have less time to make your pick now?
No, during the first round, it's gone from 10 minutes per pick to 8 minutes per pick. So 2 minutes
That's
less.
very interesting for those teams that are looking to trade up.
Yeah, 2 minutes less per pick, 32 teams. That equals 1 hour less that we're going to have to stay up till stupid o'clock in the morning, which is going to be good for us.
Yeah, I might just talk for 2 minutes more.
Exactly. So there we go. We get an hour less. It should finish around 4 a.m, give or take a little our time instead of 5, which is going to be really fun because we get to go to bed early. But today we are going to be taking a look at some of our final rankings, top 5 positionals for NFL draft prospects. So who we think maybe are the best 5 going into this, because there's a lot, even at this point, there's still a lot of non-consensus about who the best prospects are this year. So we're going to reveal ours, and then we're going to do what we've been doing the last few episodes as well. We're going to take a look at some of the best returning players to college football next year, just getting away from the draft stuff a little bit to give us all a bit of a break, because draft fatigue is well and truly set in now with the big thing there. So we're going to be taking a look at some offensive linemen going back to college next year to keep your eyes out on. And I see my marker is in the chat, and there are some golden gophers in those lists, so keep an eye out for them. Housekeeping stuff first, you know the drill. Roar of the Lions UK. If you want in on Discord, let us know. We'll send you the link for that. The main podcast, we did our Lions 7-round mock drafts this past Monday, so go check those out if you have not already. Don't forget to like and subscribe to everything, YouTube, Twitch, all that good sort of stuff. We're part of Lions Nation Unite as well. We're monetized and all that good stuff. So if you want to help us that way, great. But just first and foremost, we'd love having you all in the building with us. So yeah, that is all that. Just going to get a little bit of news out the way before we start this. And we've had, in the gap since our last show, one coaching extension. And obviously we've had a lot of changed head coaches in college coming into this year. We're going to have a lot of newbies, but one guy who is going to be staying around a little bit longer is Sonny Dykes at TCU. Took over there 4 years ago. He crossed iron skillet battle lines. He left their dreaded enemy, the SMU Mustangs, and in the first year, as we all remember, he took them to a national title game. may have got blown out by Georgia, but took Michigan out along the way. And then over his last 2 seasons, he's had a very solid 9-4 performances for the Horned Frogs. He is 36-17 over the last 4 years, and those 36 wins are the most by any Big 12 team in that 4-year span, and he's got 3 bowl wins to boot as well. Now, I mean, a lot of eyes were raised when he crossed the battle lines, Ryan, but over the last 4 years, I think it's safe to say he's developed a very good culture there at TCU. We've had a lot of draft picks, a lot of exciting teams. Obviously, the high-rated QB recruit has just gone to Indiana on the back of this, but he's got another really talented Ivy League guy this year. But overall, Sonny Dykes seems to have done a very good job with TCU. They've been a fun team to watch. They've won a lot of games. I think for him now that he's extended through to about 2031, he's going to be looking towards a Big 12 title, because at this point, that's really the thing that's evaded him so far, is success in the conference. But I think it's been a good start to his tenure there, and seems to be a well-earned extension.
Yep, like you say, he did the unthinkable when he took the job. He crossed lines, immediately inherited a great quarterback in Max Duggan, a team that just needed some guidance, a bit of good, strong leadership, led them to a national title, like I say, historic run that'll live long forever in the memory of Horned Frogs. Then has built a good partnership, like you say, got good staff on board as well. I know Kendall Briles has now departed, which will be interesting to see how that affects that offense. He was one of the best young offensive coordinators in the country. But I say he's done great work with guys like Josh Hoover and people like that in recent years. Plenty of offense and talent has passed through. He's kept them very competitive every year in the Big 12. He's got a good record. He's well respected and has built a good roster that has done really well. Like I say, he's also convinced one of maybe the best Ivy League players in the whole country to come and, like I say, carry on the mantle of one of the most productive and destructive, dangerous, high-powered offenses in the country. So it'll be interesting to see how he makes up for the loss of a new offensive quarter installed in, see how they gel. But yeah, future still looks bright for TCU, and hopefully they'll carry on the good work that's left off there. So I'd say it's a well-deserved extension for him in the end.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to seeing them next year. He's brought in Gordon Samis as the new OC. He's been the UConn offensive line coach for years. Like, the talent that he's pumped out of that Huskies team. Because that's kind of the problem TCU have had, is their linemen. They've not been bereft of skill players. You think Quentin Johnston, Eric McAllister's in the draft this year. Last year's draft darling. What was his name now? The Lions were really heavily linked with him. They've had a plethora of wide receiver talent coming out of that team. Running backs as well, up in the league now. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. But yeah, Sonny Dykes is in for an extension at TCU. Good news for him. And then the other little bit of news is that Iowa have been very naughty boys. They've had 4 wins erased from the history books from their 2023 season for tapping up Cade McNamara before he made his move over from Michigan. One of the coaches there was guilty of organising phone calls and conversations with Kirk Ferentz when he shouldn't have been. They sort of illegally tapped him up. And it was a 10-win season for them in 2023. Cade played the first 5 before he got that ACL injury. They were 4-1 before that injury. So those 4 wins have been vacated. And fun fact here, right, one of those games that was vacated was against Michigan State. So they won't have won that game. However, if the flip side would have happened and Michigan State would have won that game, Michigan State have had all their wins vacated from that season. So it is essentially a game in which whichever team would have won it, neither would have kept it, which I think is quite funny in the grand scheme of things. But I think they've self-imposed a few other sanctions themselves, and nothing really there, and I don't know if they'll care very much. But Iowa been a little naughty with the tapping up there.
I mean, for a program that's not really going anywhere and not had a lot to play for in recent years, to bend the rules to try get an advantage and then not really gain an advantage from it. It is quite amusing to lose relatively so few losses that were somewhat meaningless in the end. Some of you self-imposed, might as well. Like I say, no great loss there. Like I say, they tried to get away with it. They failed. no harm, no foul, I suppose. It's embarrassing, yeah, and it's gonna hurt. But it's probably alert that it's not worth it in the end now.
No, no.
They
Yeah,
can't even cheat properly.
no, can't even cheat properly. So that's 4 wins done in there. They end up with a 6-win season now. But again, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. Although I think that was the year they got bounced by Michigan in the championship game. They were in the championship game. I don't know who was bounced out at their expense. I want to say it was. Oh, who would it have been that year? That was the year they were all really close as well. I will have to check that out, but they did get in the championship game as a result of that. So, but anywho, we will see. Iowa suspended 4 games. Right, let us move it on, and we'll move to our first main point this evening, which is the draft positional prospects, the top 5 for each position as decided by us here at ROTL Alliance UK. Usually we do a thing where Ryan does the top 5 overall, I do top 5 for the Lions, but we're going to just do top 5 overall this year. So I'm going to scrutinise Ryan's lists along with him to see if we can come up with a consensus here. But just to let you know who we think are some of the best guys going into each positional group in this draft cycle. So no pressure at all. But before we do, obviously you didn't get a chance to do a mock draft with us the other day. So going into this draft, Ryan, who are your personal favourite players? Some of them, some who you've enjoyed watching over the years, who you want to see do well in the league. Just, let the guys know. Who are some of the players who are, like, as I say, your guys, because there's just that much love you have for them?
Uh, if I could see them succeed in the league, not necessarily in Detroit, I mean, number one would be Max Iheanacho, the Arizona State tackle. I think he's one of the true, proper right tackles and has had one of the biggest ascensions in the off-season. It will not surprise me to see him taken in the late 20s. Like I said, I could see him sneak into the first round. Well experienced, got a great base. Like I say, he's incredibly talented in that sense. I think he could be a plug and play for a team that's got a comfortable left side and has a somewhat stopgap. That kind of puts us in that position there. We've got Larry Borum, so it would make sense, let's say, if Sewell is kicked over that side. If you're talking another Sun Devil, I mean, Keith Abney, like I say, has had that fringe round 1, early round 2 talk as one of the most productive ball playing slot corners, one of the best in college in recent years at his position, especially making plays in the ball. Primarily will be that nickel rover bandit. Like I say, he's high up there on those lists for a guy that are going to move around on the inside. But yeah, plenty of guys. Like I say, I mean, my favourite player in the draft, if I could have anyone, is Sonny Styles, because I just think he's going to be a menace and immediate candidate straight away for Defensive Rookie of the Year. But yeah, let's say some fringe players. I like Genesis Smith, the Arizona safety. I mean, the tackling needs a lot of work, but like I say, if you're talking an impact player, a big time hitter, comes downhill hard, like I say, has got an eye for the ball, good hand-eye recognition. I think he's an explosive playmaker. If you're looking for a guy to add to a good room, I think he's got someone that's going to make a good addition there. Offensive side of the ball, I like Michael Trigg. If you're talking about a tight end that you want to just, use as a primary pass catcher, he showed this year good vertical routes. Like you say, he's got a good slender build. He's got some acceleration when he turns to look upfield. Saw a huge target count this year. Caught a lot of them, had really good production, and showed that he can work as a bit of a slot guy on the end of the line. Blocking will need a lot of work, maybe. I mean, it's a team that you're not going to ask him to block, essentially. Like I say, makes the trigger fadeaways a potential dynamic piece in a guy that's going to get a lot of looks this year, especially in the red zone, I think, even as a rookie.
So there you go, some of Ryan's favourite prospects in draft. I know specifically you've started this train. Those Arizona DBs are getting a lot of love now. Genesis Smith, Traden Stukes. You can technically include Takario Davis in that, but the love seems to have really come up for them these last few weeks, especially Traden Stukes. I wouldn't be surprised if he went much higher in this draft than people
I think he's going to go pretty high.
Yeah. That Arizona DB area, it's a pretty good system to get by from at the minute. So, I do appreciate that. Right, let's dive into these prospects. So let's start with the quarterbacks. And this is... I can't remember a year where it's been tougher
We
to
might have
rank
5 different quarterbacks each.
quarterbacks, because I've not got the Scoobiest this year in terms of how to rank these guys, and I don't think anybody has in consensus. I know there's been pushes for Ty Simpson, and Drew Aller had one about 4 weeks ago, and then it suddenly died off, and kind of every guy's had their day. Cole Payton had his time as well, and then I don't know this year. This is so tough, but let's go. Let's get with the quarterbacks. Who go 5 through 1? Who have we got at 5 for the quarterback?
I've got a joint 5.
We've got a joint 5.
I've got Taylor Green and Peyton Cole at 5.
Okay.
I found it hard to, like I say, both of them offer a great dual build skill set. Incredibly good runners, physical runners, can extend plays, make guys miss in the open field. They know when the first down marker is. They've got that arm strength to move the ball downfield when need be and give defensive coordinators a head scratching, like I say, because they're both well built. Like I said, they're both quite nifty, light on their feet, make good decisions, and are pretty good in the backfield at moving around. I've got a feel for it. So I think there's like you're too free. If you're going to take a chance on a guy, those two, all upside, because you're talking late day 2, early day 3.
Yeah. I'd agree. I'd agree there with you. I mean, I like the love for Peyton. I think it's just the lack of throws that's going to get him. And Taylor Green's a wild inconsistency. Like, he's got everything else. If he was just more of a consistent thrower, he'd probably up near be up near round 1 consideration. But I don't know. I have this sneaky suspicion Taylor Green's going to sneak into day 2. I think someone's going to love him a lot, especially if they've got a few day 2 picks and they don't mind getting rid of one. So I can buy that entirely. Who've we got at 4?
At 4, I have got Drew Aller. Right, so he's been out of the picture a lot the off season, injury, surgery, but prototypical pocket passer, huge build, massive guy, strong, physical, ran a good, well drilled, balanced offense. Like I say, made all the throws he had to at Penn State. Yes, there were costly decisions, there were injuries. The team ultimately did underwhelm in his absence, but there are pro skills there. Like I say, I feel like he is a potential backup quarterback, maybe of the future, someone that could come in as relief. But there's a skill set there. There's a mold. There's a guy that you can be impressionable on. He's young. He's got a lot of games under his belt despite the injuries. He's still experienced at the top level. So I think there's still some traits there to like. I just think, yeah. And he won't cost you a high pick either.
No, he's going to cost you a day 3 pick. The only concern I've ever had with him is the big game stuff. He's a shrinking violet in the big games. It's like Altmaier. It's just every time a big game's come along, he's just sort of shrunk away from it, and there's no standout performance where you look back and go, yeah, that's the one. That's where he was the guy. Because Penn State have just not had any of those wins in like the last 5 or 6 years. So, but yeah, I agree. The arm is there. All the potential in the world is there with him, really. But it will be a day 3 pick. It'll be good value for whoever gets him, and if they can, if they can smooth him out, could potentially get some great value there. So Aller's at 4. Who is at 3?
At 3, I've got Carson Beck. Right, so had a up-down season at Georgia, 28 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Like I say, he did fall a bit flat, especially in the biggest games. I decided to enter the portal, head to Miami, and everything just clicked for him. Okay, yes, did he join a team somewhat ready to compete? Did it just need a guy to come in and steady the ship, protect the ball, which he did a very good job? I mean, if you take out the Louisville game where he just went wild with 4 interceptions and had a meltdown, he protected the ball incredibly well all year, and that's what I've always wanted to see him. Not, like I say, put the ball in harm's way, turn down the turnover waiver rate. Like I say, it was very consistent. Completion percentage was there, put up the good numbers, commanded a strong offense, and firmly put himself in the seat as a guy that maybe would be someone's QB of the future that's not willing to leverage high capital. He has got a decently high floor. I don't think the ceiling's that high, but he proved this year that he can run the table, and in those big crucial moments can deliver strikes where needs be, and played very well in the big games as well when needed to. So part of the title game, like I say, but even then he was asked to throw 32 times. Like I say, the run game, the defense let him down, but had a very commendable year all throughout, and did his stock the world of good.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think there's any chance he sneaks in day 2. No, I think we're still in day 3 right now. Do you reckon, or do you reckon someone
Probably,
will?
yeah.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if someone took him on day 2. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Carson Beck there at 3, and then who've we got at 2?
I've got the solid two. Like I say, the clear two. It is Ty Simpson. I mean, yeah, a perennial backup that's just kind of somewhat fed off scraps for 3 years, thrust into a starting role this year, and yeah, did a hell of a job. He played lights out, put up some fantastic numbers in a big offense, guided them to a good season. Like I say, it's been an interesting year, a couple of years in was close to saw, but here did well. Like I say, struggled in the playoff game. Like I say, didn't have much chance because the offense just stagnated in general. He wasn't able to lift them very well. Like I said, a good performance in the SEC Championship, and like I say, stacked together some multiple games. Yeah, he's still young, still got a lot to learn. Doesn't have too many bad habits. Nice build, good throwing motion, a nice quick release, and yeah, I mean, just one season to work off, but I mean, in this day and age, it's all you really need. Sometimes, like I say, I think someone's going to fall in love with him. Yeah, I think he's going to. I think someone's going to snipe him in round one.
Really? Like,
But
it's crazy because again, for me, the one season starting's the issue because they've done the list of one season starters who've come up, and it's pretty rough going back the last 20 years. And obviously Anthony Richardson, the situation with him, I thought this would have ended by now. I thought he should have gone back to school, but I think I do commend the fact that he didn't go for money and he's come up. And I'm with you. Probably he will go round 1, but yeah, I just would worry about.
feels like a ram to me.
Yeah,
Feels like he's going to sit behind Matthew Stafford.
you've got to sit him. You can't start. But that's the only trouble with 1 year starters. Their next football is going to be NFL football. The only way they're going to learn is playing NFL ball. So it's a really steep learning curve. But I agree. I think Stafford will be one of the best mentors possible for him. I think that will be a good room to go into, especially if they can get another vet in there as well, just to help in case. But yeah, Ty certainly has a lot about him. But yeah, that starting experience is worrying. And then I'm going to assume at number 1, we've got the overall number 1.
Yeah, you've got the first overall pick in the draft. You've got Felipe Mendoza, the nation's darling, the nation's sweetheart, put together an incredible year that will long live in the history of college football. Was incredibly clutch in the latest of moments in the biggest games all season. Came up with multiple game-winning drives. Proved that he can make all the throws. The numbers were fantastic. 6'5", 225, built like I say, it's just come off a conveyor belt. How you want your prototypical QB1 to look. Like I say, stacked up though with some, like I said, a good season in Cal in 2024. The wins didn't necessarily materialise, but he still put a good job at commanding an offence that he was still completing well over 65% of his passes through his time in Cal. So he's never been one to shy away from a challenge, and he put them in best position to win possible. And then sometimes the pieces just fit perfectly. The Indiana transfer, 72% on 379 attempts. Like I say, he can make all the throws. Like I say, he's incredibly accurate. Puts all the balls right where they need to be so his guys can make plays on them, and had a fantastic year and got it done on the ground as well. Never been much of a rusher, only 4 touchdowns going into Indiana this year, but got 7 on the ground and had his most carries throughout the season. So much more dual threat, and like I say, was much more comfortable tucking it inside to run. Yeah. So yeah, he will be going first overall. I think, like you say, he's probably put himself in the best position to possibly succeed at the next level as a rookie.
Yeah, I think he's just getting penalised because the class is so weak. When classes are weak, the first QB always gets, panned because, oh yeah, he's top QB in a bad class. He wouldn't be QB1 in another class or this class or the other. But, I look at Mendoza and I see everything I need to with him. Clutch. And we talked about Drew Aller not having any clutch games, which is why he shouldn't be in the same breath as him. That Illinois game, that they nearly lost. Clutch last drive to get them the win. The Penn State game was the really impressive one. I remember when they played that Penn State game, they were down, they had one drive left, and we said, this is the drive of a number one overall quarterback if he gets this done. And he marched them down the field just like that, and I think it was that absolutely phenomenal catch by Omar Cooper. That one in the back of the end zone with his 2-foot toe tap, but the pass was just immaculate, like only where he could get it. That is where his number one overall talent comes from. And then in the playoffs, he was tremendous. They say he didn't throw the ball much. He was accurate. He did what he needed to. I think he's a great number one overall pick. I think he'll be a great quarterback. I agree with you. He is certainly number one. So at quarterback, we got a joint fifth of Taylor Green and Cole Payton, both high athletic upside dual threat quarterbacks. Got Drew Aller at 4, Carson Beck at 3, Ty Simpson at 2, and Fernando Mendoza, of course, at 1. Let's move into the running back room. And running backs, no matter what year you're in, you will always find a difference of opinion on who are some of the better ones here. So who has snuck into your top 5 in the running back room? I start at 5.
This was hard. I've got Emmett Johnson from Nebraska. Like you say, the junior this year had a fantastic season. He had the 6th most carries in the country. He had the 4th most rushing yards with 1,451 yards and a total of 12 touchdowns on the ground. Complemented it with another 5 scores through the air, another 3 scores, another 370 yards. Was an integral piece, especially after their quarterback, like I said, the problems they had, injuries, lack of consistency under centre. This kid really came in, made it his own. A big jump from 2024 to 2025, showed the physical downhill in between running tackles that was needed this year to get the job done, and put together himself a very nice stat sheet just at the time he needed to. Like I say, good off-season workout. I think he's someone that could slot in as an alternative or a change of pace guy for any team looking for someone. Like I say, it's a bit stockier, a bit more physical, someone that's also got that finishing ability, especially in the red zone where he did so well this year.
So the athletic testing has not scared you off him then? Because I know a lot of people see the numbers and then go nuts, but I mean, production is production, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like I said, some guys just test poorly. But like I say, their speed in the game, the tape, it usually is their saving grace. It doesn't put me off too many guys.
No, very, very, very rare where testing will do me either. So we've got Emmett Johnson there at 5. Who have we got at 4?
I've got Mike Washington. Like I say, I've got the stellar running back out of Arkansas. The guy that is a behemoth. Like I said, the numbers were eye-popping, the measurables, the guy is built like an action man. Ran one on like this year. Like I say, had a great season on only 167 carries. Like I say, he did quite a small workload this year compared to some of the bigger backs in the country, but still turned that into 30 most yards with 1,070. Still chipped in for 8 touchdowns, but a very good 6.5 yards per carry, which would have made him in the top 20 running backs in the country this year. So, and yeah, had his best season receiving as well, catching the ball 28 times for 8 yards, catch for 226 yards. He tested very well, as I say. He just passes the eye test. He's big, he's muscular, he's hard to bring down. Like I say, he's done it in multiple offenses, multiple styles. Older guy, there's a bit more tread on the tyres, I suppose. 5th year, 3rd team, but was very productive in the SEC in a team that did lack a lot of identity going forward. I think for someone looking for a physical power back, like I say, that's going to run between north and south, between the tackles, do some of the dirty work. Like I say, but has got that explosion as well. Like I say, in career, has got longest rushes of 92 yards and 57 yards. So he has got that second gear when he needs to get into it, especially when he's in the open field.
Yeah, I love Mike Washington. He's just one of those between the tackles, absolute bulldogs, which is just going to churn out the yardage for you. Loves contact, great with his yards after contact. And yeah, he sort of built his way up from lower programs as well. I like that, but he's awesome. It's kind of sad as well, because every time I think of him now, I think of Brent, because he was Brent's favourite player in this draft, and with Brent being no longer with us, it's really, really sad. I hope Mike Washington goes really high just for him because I knew he absolutely adored the hell out of him. So yeah, we got Mike Washington Jr. there at 4. We're going into the top 3 now. Who sneaks into your top 3 at 3?
I've seen a lot of people are very varied on this guy. I love Jonah Coleman out of Washington. I don't care if he's diminutive, he's a bit minuscule, he's short, like you say, he's stocky, but the workload, like you say, in recent years, just speak for itself. 550 career carries between a Wildcat and a Husky, 3,000 rushing yards, 34 touchdowns, like I say, another 800 yards around. Past 4 years, he's been a big physical piece in the Big 12 and across the Big 10. He's been an impact player in the run game and also in the passing game. He's a very varied, he's a good athlete. He's good with the ball and his hands out in the open field, but he's also not shy to get into it. He's, like I say, got a short, stocky built stature. He does well at line of scrimmage. He can pass block when he needs to be. He's happy to get in there and do the dirty stuff. Still needs work, but he's more than happy to be part of, like I say, protect a QB when needs be. He's a very good all-round athlete with a nicely balanced game. I think he will be a good piece for someone in offense looking for a bit of variation from their guy.
Yeah, Jonah Coleman has been a beast. I know he started this season on fire. I would have liked him to have done a bit more after that, because a lot of those touchdowns came in the non-cons. But like you said, he's got very production over the years. He's very tough for the smaller sizes as well, and probably will be a bit underappreciated, maybe because of that tail off towards the end of the year. But certainly Jonah Coleman, very special talent. Now I am very intrigued on your number 2 here, because I know who people think is number 2 in this draft, and I completely and utterly disagree with them on each and every level. I'm wondering if you've got the partner to number 1, but let's see. Who have you got at 2?
Who shouldn't I have at 2? I'm curious.
The partner to number 1.
I do have him.
Oh, have you got Jadarian Price at 2?
Yeah.
Oh, no!
Yeah. Maybe it is recency bias. But I've shown enough of him this year to think that if Jeremiah Love wasn't at Notre Dame and he managed to have that workload and, like say, take those carries, that I think he still would have been able to replicate somewhat that level of production. Like you say, I think he's played his part very admirably as a change of pace guy, someone to keep him fresh. Come in, like you say, that he's a primary runner, has no real receiving work in his time there, which is probably his biggest knock so far. Primarily, takes the handoff. He is under centre in the backfield or in the I formation. He is coming across you, taking it, and then upfield. Like I say, had a good year in the red zone, and also with some longer plays of 11 touchdowns. Like I say, 750 yards last year, 670 this year. He has very much been a complementary piece and had to share the workload where the carries were there. Like I say, he is someone, like I say, that average build, good athleticism. Like you say, there's not a lot of tread on the tyres, so someone you getting it's pretty fresh. Like you say, I think it's pretty hard to, like you say, judge what he will be at the next level. Tested well, like you say, the 4.49, like you say, 35 a good 10.4 broad, 21 bench, so he did himself pretty good at the combine. Does have the issue of injuries. Like you say, he has had an Achilles injury in recent years, so it has kind of stunted his growth. But like I say, this year did have a fantastic year, and I'm hoping he can build on that. I think this is where I did struggle to nail down a number 2.
Yeah, I mean, I like the play. I don't know. I guess it's just he's never really been a 1. Would always play into my thinking with it. I think you've got to have been a 1 at some point. But like you said, the tread, is not quite there. It worked for James Cook. He didn't have the tread when he came out of college as much as some others, and he's been fantastic in the NFL. So it can work. I don't know. For me, it's just it is a start, I think, because I wasn't the same on Cook either. I know I didn't really do much with him there, but certainly the number 1, his mate in running. Jeremiah Love, I'm going to assume, is here at 1, unless you're about to throw a massive curveball in here. But I mean, without shadow of a doubt, injuries, if he has no injuries in the NFL, he's going to be a legend by the time he's done.
Yeah, easily. I mean, he shouldn't be falling out of the top 10, but that's just going to depend who trades into the top 10 and their needs. But anyone that gets him, like say, immediate, like say, workhorse back, like say, he's going to have a huge impact. He's going to have the Bijan, Jimmy Gibbs impact straight away, anyone that's looking to have him. And if he falls towards 12, 11, 13, 14, I think teams are going to be clamoring up to go up and get him. Like I say, it's a plug and play, true NFL running back straight away. Like I say, so it's going to be just interesting to see how high does fall, how high someone want to go get him. I mean, recent years, how well the first round running backs have done. Like say that it shouldn't be any problems. Like say anyone paying a king's ransom to go get him.
I mean, if he fell to 13 or 14, Ryan, I mean, would you not think, I could maybe go get him and trade Jameer Gibbs for a few firsts and do that? Well, he is awesome. Like, I mean, he replaced the year when Kyron Williams and Audric Estime, I think came out of that Notre Dame system, and it's like, how are they going to do without them two? But he was always very well thought of, and he's not disappointed at all. Like, he's dug them out of so many holes, Jeremiah Love, because let's face it, and I think the other thing that works in his favour, the quarterback play's not been very good while he's been there, or at least not at an elite level. Yeah.
If there was a really good quarterback there, he probably would have seen a lot less touches.
He's dragged that team out of some pits. Let's just say that. So I like that about him as much. So yeah, I'm with you. So the top five we got in terms of running backs. At number 5, Emmett Johnson. 4, Mike Washington Jr. 3, Jonah Coleman, and then we've got the 1-2 punch of Notre Dame, Jadarian Price and Jeremiah Love at 1. Moving on to receivers. I mean, quite a few good ones at the top this year, but the spots after are up for grabs. Who makes your top 5 at 5 for receiver?
I found this list a lot easier because when I wrote it down, like I said, it kind of filled in itself. So honourable mentions: Chris Bell, without the torn ACL, he's my number 5. But at 5, I've got Denzel Boston. I have got, he's big, he's rangy. Like I say, he can make catches away from his body. He's good in contested areas. Like I say, he's a good vertical threat. Like I say, he's played part on a big offense. He's been the go-to guy for Washington for the last couple of years when they needed to get out of a hole. Like I say, you're able to just put the ball up and ask him to go get it in that sense. Like I say, he's got a good route tree. He's well built. His physical presence. Like I say, he just needs to tidy up, like I say, the more intricate games. But I think he's still a good chance he goes top 35. Like I say, top 40 at minimum. I think he's got a great chance, like I say, immediately be a contributor, especially for someone that's looking a bit more physical and rugged on the outside.
Yeah, I love Denzel Boston. I think it feels like every Washington prospect this year, they've been tagged by the team, been so bad. You think Jonah Coleman, you think Takario Davis, you think Ephesians Prysock, all these guys I think have had a little notch by their name because of how awful the team was, considered to expectations. But I'm with you. I love Boston. I did at the start of the year. As an outside guy, I think he's tremendous. He's got a lot of upside to that game. I think he's going to get like the Quentin Johnston treatment where people I think are going to try and hate on him, but I think he'll prove them wrong eventually. So yeah, I like that shout. Boston at 5. Who have we got at 4?
4, Casey Concepcion. Like I say, elite return skills, speedster. Like I say, can work with little separation when needs to be, can play all the positions inside out, can do gadget plays. Like I say, he is just an explosive, dynamite, home run kind of player in multiple facets of the game. He's one of my favourite players to watch in the country. And I think in the right offense, you're talking like big plays like Rashee Rice as a rookie. Like I said, the guy can take the roof off of a defense. And also, I don't know if you'd use him as a returner because he's going to be a high value first round asset, but I would love to see him get work in special teams where he can really be a home run difference maker. So I think he's going to be in the right hands, could be a very special player that could put up some huge numbers straight away and be in mismatches for defenses because, he brings speed, he brings open field elusiveness, and he brings good hands to the table.
Had to hurt me one last time in this draft cycle, didn't we? Had to bring the traitor in there, but I agree. Casey Concepcion is special. He was ever since he touched the field in Raleigh, and you knew he was going to be something special. He just screams out to me one of these really efficient middle of the field playmakers who's just going to be a chain mover for years and years to come, and like his speed is going to be so good at the next level. I don't know where he goes. I feel like he's a Miami-esque player. I think I mocked into Miami ages ago. Like, Miami could really do with someone like him, keep him in state technically from where he finished his collegiate career. But, yeah, he's going to be a great player, no doubt, going forward. Lisa's in the chat. Hope you are doing well, Lisa. So is Marmarker, and is that still you? If you have any questions as we go on, just put them in the comments and we'll get through them as the evening goes on. Right, back to receivers. We're into the top three now. Who is at 3?
I've got John Tyson at 3. Right, so he's an incredible player. Like I say, he has been a team. He has been one of the biggest difference makers, and have been the entire focal point of, like I say, the ASU offense for pretty much the last 2.5 years. Has played incredibly well. He's big. He's well built, like 6'2", 190. He's got a good physical presence. Like he's a big time playmaker. He's able to get in behind defenses. He tracks the ball well, nicely on a deep ball. He can block when asked to as well, because ASU wants to run the football, and they've run the football incredibly well in his time there. So he's also had to do when the dirty work needed to. Like I say, only issue is shoulder surgery, and played through in the last 2 years multiple injuries. Like I say, missed missed a playoff game for ASU, which was a big loss for them, and also, like I say, struggled down the end of this season. So his durability, the fragility at times as well. He's played through multiple injuries when he needed to, but they did hamper him. Like I say, and he's not in the field at times when he could have made a bigger impact. So that's the only reason he's sliding. I think he's going to have a pretty steady fall towards the end of the first round. Yeah. I think someone can get a potential steal if he's able to get over those knocks.
I know he did manage his individual pro day, which should hopefully have helped, but yeah.
Yeah, he's having a private one and inviting everyone.
Yeah, so I think it's it'll have to be soon, I guess. I don't know if I thought he'd done it, but
I think
we'll see. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, because like you said, like top 10 pick if he's healthy, but it just depends on the value and everything. And then so we've got the top 2 now, so this is just a matter of which one of them you prefer. Who comes in at 2?
Yeah, this is very much a flavour of the month kind of position. Now, my number 2 is Carnell Tate. And I know he's a lot of people's number 1. And I get it. Like say, he's strong, he's physical, he's got an expanded route tree. Comes from wide receiver U, the best wide receiver college in the country. He's had to bide his time in recent seasons, really made a name for himself in 2024 as a bit of a larger pie in the supporting cast. This year has had a very good year, put up the touchdown numbers, like I say, was much more productive in the red zone, was a big help to Julian Sayings through his learning process. He is the prototypical Buckeyes guy on the outside, physical line of scrimmage, doesn't shy away from contact, like I say, catches all the balls he needs to, and does everything, like I say, they ask of him, and will be a hell of a rookie, and should go on to have a great pro career. Like I say, the next in the pipeline. I just don't like him as much as number 1.
No,
I get why he probably will be the first receiver off the board.
I can get that. It feels weird. I feel like Carnell Tate has had one of the quietest off-season programs. I feel like I've not heard his name now in weeks. He's just there, and there's nothing wrong. There's no, it just feels like there's been no chatter about him whatsoever. But he's consistently been a top 10 pick. So, I almost forgot he existed when you said his name. I'm like, oh yeah, I've just not heard anything yet. So we've got Carnell Tate at 2. So assuming we've got the USC standout at 1.
Yeah, I love Mekhi Lemon. He was my favourite receiver in the country this year. He is just, like I said, I thought he was a very worthy Biletnikoff winner as well. Like I say, he had an absolutely tremendous season. He was a nightmare for opposing defences in a USC offence that was very strong for the most part. Like I say, he built up a good repertoire of Jada Maeva. I think a lot of what I love is what he does when he gets the ball in his hands. Like I say, he's very much put the ball in his hands and in open field, he gave guys headaches. He would jump, cut, he would juke, there was spin moves, he can hurdle, he can do absolutely everything. Or you've just got to give him a chance and then let him to go expend players. Like I say, he is a potential big player every time you get him the ball. Had a tremendous year this year. Like I say, won best Polynesian co-football player of the year. Like I say, athleticism, okay, tested all right at the combine, but I've seen him play enough to know that him running a 40, him doing drills and that, it just won't matter to me. Like I say, 5'11", 192, that's all fine to me. The hands, the arms, it doesn't bother me. I know in the right offense, he's going to make a big explosive players and become a household name in the next couple of years. And Daniel Jeremiah agrees, because who is his pro comp? It's Amon St. Brown. Like I say, and I see that. I see the physicalness in a small, compact package. Like I say, happy to work through contact to get to the first down marker. So I'm hoping he also has the same impact at the next level as well. But yeah, Lemon's number one receiver for me.
And he's capable of the circus catches, like the ones you're like, how the hell has he done that?
Tracks the ball on both shoulders well, knows
Yeah.
where the sideline is. He's very good in spatial awareness.
I think that's certainly what separates him from me from the others. It's just like some of the catches he can grab are just absolutely phenomenal. What he can do with his body, like I could tell you now, he's probably going to have one of the catches of the year in the NFL next year. Like that's the kind
You
of
can
guy
make an
he can be.
OBJ style catch,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll do it in practice every week, just no one will see it.
Yeah, he's going to do something, and people are going to just replay that for years. So I know he will. So wide receivers, we have an honorary mention for Chris Bell. Obviously, the injury unfortunately put paid to the top 5 shout, but he is still a great receiver in his own right from Louisville. At 5, we've got Denzel Boston out of Washington. 4, Casey Concepcion, the traitor from TAMU. Jordan Tyson of Arizona State at 3, Cardell Tate of Ohio State at 2, and Makai Lemon of USC at 1. Tight ends. Now, this is a tough one this year. There's one good one, and then there's a load of guys behind that. So I'm interested to see what you think about the tight ends. In fact, we will hear about the tight ends in a moment. Ryan has just got to take a call. Hank has been a little bit unwell. So I know that Ryan is expecting a call from the vets, which that is probably going to be. So you've got me here for a couple of minutes. I might just throw in a couple of other receiver shouts as well. There's 2 good bells in the draft this year. Chris Bell's an honorary mention. I'm probably going to throw a shout out to one of the other Biletnikoff finalists as well, Skylar Bell. And Skylar Bell is rocketing upwards. I think he's going to be one of the ones that people are going to be shocked by how high he goes in the draft. I know when we were doing the Epic mock last week, a lot of good draft guys in there who kind of do this for a living. And Skylar Bell's name was forefront amongst so many of them. And, you know, I've loved Skylar Bell for years now. The UConn prospect. The last couple of years, he's been such a big focal point of that team. A little undersized, 6'1", 192. Doesn't just play out the slot, plays on the outside as well. But I think in terms of a route technician, he is absolutely tremendous. The work rate, the blocking and everything has got him noticed. People have noticed him in the off season as well. I think there's a chance he goes high in round 2 potentially. When people have been thinking he's an early day 3er. So Skylar Bell is the other Bell who's my honourable mention there for receivers. You all good, Ryan? Everything?
Yeah, I missed. They had it up after like 5 seconds. I didn't catch it, so they might ring in the morning now. So we'll see.
Oh, all right, okay. No, Hank is all right, Mal Barker. He just needs a few pup treatments. So.
Hello.
Oh no, is he back?
On the vet.
Oh, okay, he's back on the line again. Gaviscon is in the building. Hope you're doing well, Gaviscon. So just taking a little bit of a break here. Ryan's just got to sort out an emergency appointment with the vet for Hank. So once that's done, we'll continue with our list. So we are profiling the top 5 for each position in this NFL draft upcoming. These are Ryan's ones. But I'm putting my tuppence in worth it as well. So I'll just quickly recap what we've done. Quarterbacks, Taylor Green and Cole Payton as a joint number 5. We had Drew Aller at 4, Carson Beck at 3, Ty Simpson at 2, Fernando Mendoza at 1. Running backs, we had Emmett Johnson at 5, Mike Washington at 4, Jonah Coleman at 3, Jadarian Price at 2, Jeremiah Love at 1. And then wide receivers, we had an honorary shout out for the 2 Bells, Chris and Skylar. 5 is Denzel Boston, 4 is Casey Concepcion, 3 is Jordan Tyson, 2 is Carnell Tate, and 1 is Makai Lemon. And we are about to crack on with the tight ends in a moment when Ryan is back. Maybe good time for me to shout out what we are actually doing for the draft and just going through some upcoming stuff with us. So this Monday forthcoming, we'll be doing our final first round mock drafts, which is going to be good fun. No idea what we're going to do. I have no idea what I'm going to do this year. The most unsure I've ever been about the first round, but that'll be our final main show before the draft. Hoping me and Ryan are going to be back on Tuesday. We're going to do our mock draft simulator challenge, which is where we get 30 random names, or 30 random numbers pulled out of a generator. We match them to 30 players selected in a mock draft by an online simulation, and then we try and beat it and predict where some of these players are going to go. So we're going to do that on the Tuesday. I'll crack on with the end of this at the end. I think Ryan is back now. We all good now?
Yep.
Right, we'll carry. Well, I'll go through the future stuff a little bit later on. Right, we are at tight end. Not a lot of consensus amongst the tight ends this year. So, good luck. Who are we starting with at 5 here?
I mean, we'll just call these 2A, 2B, 2C, 2D. Just fair at 5, I've got Justin Jolie. Like I say, I'm a big fan of the NC State tight end. Like I say, he had a good year this year in the offense. Like I say, he's a young man. He's only just turned. He'll only just turn 22 in a couple of months. So, like I say, he is a young, physical tight end. He's like 6'3", 230, 240. He's a well-built guy. He had a nice year this year. Like I say, he had a good production score. Worked out well at the combine. First team All-State this year. 49 receptions, nearly 10 yards per catch, 7 receiving touchdowns. Became a part of a focal offense for a team that had a young quarterback on the center that was trying to get in a rhythm this year. Also started 13 games in 2024, so he's doing a good job of starting. Like I say, he's not had any serious injuries to date, which is doing really well for him. Had a great stat line, had 661 receiving yards in 2024, but this year, like I say, good in the red zone. He's a nice vertical passing threat. Like I say, he's well built. He can block when needs to be. Like I say, he's a nice focal point and could be a good tight end too on a team that's looking for a young receiving option. Like I say, a guy that could play multiple roles in and out the backfield. So yeah, I think it's some the Lions will definitely need to look at. We are in the market for a tight end too.
Lisa puts it in there. That's Ants guy, Justin Jolie. It is. I love Justin Jolie. He's played at 2 of my favourite programs, UConn and NC State. And again, I think he'd be number 1 here if it weren't for the size. I think it's 6'3", 242. He's advertised as, but I mean, he's probably the best receiver of everyone in the tight end class at the draft for me, and I think he's an underrated blocker as well. Michigan State are going to get to watch Cam Edwards this year. Cam Edwards is like 4th all time in UConn rushing yards. They've been a very good rushing football team this last couple of years. UConn have. They've been a great team altogether. He blocks much better than people give him credit for. So I think he's just all round fantastic, and yeah, it's just the size that's keeping him down a little bit. But yeah, I certainly agree having Justin Jolie in the top 5 there. Who do you have at 4?
I've already mentioned him. I've got Michael Trigg from Baylor. Like I say, the guy had a very good, productive year. Like I say, was a 3rd team All-Press American. Had nearly 700 yards on 50 total catches this year with 6 touchdowns. Like I say, finalist for the John Mackey Award, so was one of the top tight ends in the nation. Did start all 11 games for Baylor, which posed a very potent passing offense with Sawyer Robertson under center. He became one of his favorite targets all year. Like I say, was all Big 12 second team in 2024. Played in all 11 games then. Like I said, had 400 yards. Did suffer a suspension Like I say, 2 years ago, there was some ill discipline which did cost him a game. And like I say, did also miss the ball, lost to LSU. So he has been in and out of the team, like I say, in recent years, but the move to Baylor's done very well. Well built, 6'4", 240, massive hands, 10.5 inches. That is a big above hand. Like I say, long arms, 34 and 1/4 inch. Like I say, had a good season. I think he can work himself into a passing offense as a vertical threat and expand on the route tree. Will block, can block if you asked him, but ultimately I think you're wasting him in that sense. Like you say, he's a guy that you want to split out and you want to make into the rotation and make him as a proper passing threat going forward.
Yeah, I think if you gave Michael Trigg size to Justin Jolie talent, you'd have a in tight end one in this draft by absolute streets. Would be way better than Sadiq. But yeah, Trigg's got the size that you want. He's got the athletic ability that you want. I think, if I remember rightly, he's just got a little bit of a drop issue. I think. I could be the wrong one, but he has dropped a few this year. But outside of that, yeah, I agree. Great tight end. Michael Trigg at 4. Then we're into the top 3. Who is at 3 for you?
2 and 3 is my hardest. Like I said, I've got Max, I've got Eli Stowers at 3. Like I say, 6'4", 249, had a ridiculous combine. What was it, like a 4.5, low high 4.5s, like an 11 feet broad. Like I say, had a great bench. Like I say, physically, like I say, passes the test in every aspect of the word. He's an outstanding athlete. Like I say, had an incredible career at Vanderbilt. Like I say, put together a huge workload for the team, became their focal offense. Like I say, a jack of do-it-all trade, very important. Like I say, an all-time American, a John Mackey winner, first team All SEC, has had a very illustrious career with the Vanderbilt Commodores. Often kind of like say gets those Taysom Hill vibes. People say that feels lazy at times. Like you say, yes, he will play multiple positions in the NFL. Someone is going to love him for his versatility and what he can do with the ball in his hands. There will be trick plays, special teams you can use him on. Some will be like, he's not for me. Like I say, because he's not a traditional tight end that you put him in the line. But yeah, this guy can do everything he needs to be. Everything he's got. He's one of the most well built as well. Like you say, 6'4", 240. He's got a great build to him. He's strong, physical. He's fluid. He's great with the ball in his hands and just makes plays in the backfield and split out or on the end of the line wherever you fancy him. So I think he's going to be a strong top 100 selection. And like I said, in a middling tight end class, could even go a fair bit higher.
Yeah, I've been calling him. I am guilty of the Taysom Hill stuff, but in fairness, I've been calling him that for years. Eli Stowers has a lot of pass attempts as a QB in college. He did back at New Mexico State when it was Pavia's. He was actually supposed to be the starter in front of Diego Pavia at one point and then got supplanted. But for me, there's not a more clearer player head coach fit than giving Eli Stowers to Sean Payton. I would bet a lot of money that Eli Stowers ends up in Denver because they do need tight end help as well.
Does feel like a Sean Payton kind of guy, yeah.
Yeah, he does. And again, he has played plenty of quarterback, so he can throw the ball. They have used him as a running back as well. He's been as a tight end, and we've seen his receiving ability the last couple of years has just gone off the charts. And when you throw in a wonderful athlete to boot, I would bet my bottom dollar that there's a great chance he ends up in Denver if they get the opportunity to. But he could be very special. He could be one of the most unique weapons in the NFL if someone gets him right. I love Eli. So you got him at 3, but who was the one you weren't sure with at 2 to move these around?
I've got Max Clare at 2. That was hard because Max has missed time, has had significant injuries in the past. Between Purdue, redshirted, and had a serious injury that limited a lot of time, but did finish very strong in his final year at Purdue, third team All Big Ten. Like I say, got the call up this year, like I say, to go to a Buckeye and prove that, yeah, the guy is an incredibly athletic tight end that can be a very potent weapon in a pass catching offense. He's more than happy to, like I say, play in the slot, but he's that big, strong, fast, got all the physical tools to also push further out wide as well and can make a lot of plays all over the field, especially in space. Blocking leaves a lot to be desired. He can block, but he struggles to sustain blocks despite being a good size. Like I say, it just sometimes feels like he doesn't like it. He just doesn't like being asked to do it. Like I say, he could be a big time impact rookie in a passing offense. Like I say, there are definitely things to work on. There were some drops in recent years, but when he does get the ball in his hands, he puts together a very good start line and could be a good impact for a guy that you may get as well as in round 3 or 4. He could make an impact for a moderate asking price. So yeah, I think Eli Stowers got the higher floor because I think he's more natural, well-rounded, like saying be offense. But I think this guy might have the higher ceiling. If he does tidy up the blocking as well, I think he could become one of those guys that is constantly on the field and a true tight end one for any team.
Yeah, I agree with you. In terms of a receiving guy, he could be. The only problem I really have with him, he's not been testing in the offseason. And I know they've flagged a couple of the tight ends for this. I know Joe Royer's another they've flagged. They're not testing for some reason. I don't get why Max Clare didn't test at Ohio State's Pro Day, given where he's scheduled to go in the draft, which is not particularly high. So is he hiding an injury? She said he's had injury issues, hasn't he? So I'm a bit concerned as to why he's not been testing. But on the flip side, if he clears and he is what he can be, he will be a really good NFL tight end. So I can buy that one there. And then at 1, I'm assuming we've got the clear and obvious favourite here.
Yeah, I've got the muscle shark, Kenyon Sadiq. You just look at him and his skinny little pads. You look at the giant biceps. The guy has got thighs bigger than my waist. The guy is an absolute gym rat. Like I say, he's an incredible athlete. The combine numbers were just ridiculous. Like I say, 4'4", 11'1" broad, 43 vert, 26 bar. The guy lives in the gym. The guy eats protein powder, like I say, probably multiple scoops a day. Like I say, probably doesn't even have it with water. Like I say, he is just a natural freaky athlete and had an incredible year in the red zone this year. He is a bully in the red zone. Like I said, 8 touchdowns led the FBS this year, especially in the red zone. Like I said, those linebackers that think they can mismatch up with him. Like I say, he brushes them aside. He goes up, wins the ball, comes down, but incredible vertical athlete, incredibly well-rounded. And like I say, he deserved it. A finalist for the John Mackey, 51 receptions, 11 yards per catch. Has got a chance to have a big style like Harold Fanning Jr. impact as a rookie, because immediately becoming straight away as a guy that could see heavy workload as a rookie and put all those physical, God bless traits he's been given to test straight away.
Yeah.
Very interesting to see. I'm fascinated where he goes in the first round and which offense he fits into.
Ken, shout out to Ken Stouder who's in the chat. He goes, "Dang, that guy's going to need a special airline seat for those legs." Yeah, probably is going to. Like Ryan said, he's built fit. It's kind of like the tight end version of AJ Dillon.
Kind of feels like to me
Godzilla.
like a Travis Kelce replacement.
Ooh.
He could slot straight in at the Chiefs.
Ooh, that could be quite fun actually. Yeah, instead of them taking a running back like everyone's saying they will. So, tight ends, we've got Justin Jolie at 5, Michael Trigg at 4, Eli Stowers at 3, Max Clare at 2, Kenyon Sadiq at 1. Quick question from Mal Barker. Just what is the broad jump meant to show about player potential? So, my understanding of the broad is about your
It's
lower
a standing
body.
base, isn't it? So it's thrust from your core, isn't it?
It's your lower body explosion, how quickly you can thrust your weight forward. I know specifically offensive linemen, it's big because it's about how you can throw your weight in stance and get power from your low core.
Absorb a bull rush with the broad.
It's about your core and being able to set a base there. I know for power rushers, it's about your first step and how quick you can get off the line of scrimmage. So if you can broad well, if you can again get that power out your lower body, you'll get a good first step against the tackle, which you'll work with. And then I think the other one is kind of like, press receivers, guys like that. You can, get up in a DB's grill, really sort of get that lower body impact in there. But it's mainly for offensive linemen and edges and D tackles, I guess, as well. Trenchmen. How much lower body strength you can generate is big for you. So that's what the broad's about. I don't think the overall length matters. It's just, how much power you can generate. If you don't have a good broad, then you might struggle. So I think that's what the broads do with it. It's your lower body strength and explosion out of that. But yeah, mainly for linemen. Everyone else wouldn't really care. Casey's not taking a running back in round 1. Probably not.
Not now signed Kenneth Walker, no chance. No.
Oh no, yeah, they have signed Kenneth Walker. My bad. But yeah,
That's why I think they'll go.
yeah, no, I forgot about that. Yeah, they'll go corner. They've traded all their corners away, I think, haven't they? So I think a corner's got to be going there at some point. Right, let's move on. Last offensive position.
I've merged offensive area into.
That's fine.
I didn't have enough centres to do a 5, to be honest.
That's fine. I don't. So you've just done offensive line as a whole thing. Or
I've got tackles and an interior.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Just very quickly before we do, Carlton Woods in the chat. He just goes, "Hi guys, thought on Sam Roush as a day 3 pick for the Lions. Thanks." I know Roush obviously is bigger. What, 262? The Stanford one.
6, yeah.
I don't mind him. I think he's a lot to be desired. Obviously, that Stanford team has been really poor, so you don't know how much to make of him in regards to the team he's been on. I think he's just very underdeveloped, but the size is really tempting. 262, especially for the Lions. You're thinking run blocker, but I don't think it's been his speciality in college. I think he's a decent enough receiver, but I think a lot of work, I would say, with him, Ryan, but I could see why the Lions would be interested given the size.
Yeah. He's a big physical prospect. He's got tools. He's got traits. There's a lot to like about him, like you say, from a visual point. Body work's not there. If you want a similar guy with a similar build that's a bit more polished, I like Dallin Bentley from Utah as the late day 2, early day 3 pick for the Lions, and I think they have met with him.
Yeah,
he doesn't get a lot of love, and I was very close to putting him, like say 5'6".
Yeah, Dallin Bentley is underappreciated. I think he's great.
I think the Lions definitely add a tight end. Late day 2, early day 3.
Yeah. It could be Roush, but I think Roush is going to go quite late. Probably you'd be looking at 181, I think we've got maybe after that. But, the upside is certainly there with him. I think it's just personal preference on that one for me. Ken goes, I worked in the PC industry for 20 years, went to Comdex in Vegas early 90s. They called it a cattle call play and got stuck between 2 big guys. Don't think I got any armrest on that flight. I would not like to sit between 2 NFL players on a flight. I'd be squished. And I'm 6'4" and quite a lot of pounds. I would probably get squished there. Right. Tackles. Let's do tackles first then. Because we've done interior and exterior. So who have we got at 5 for your tackles? Because this is, again, this is a group of very varied opinions, and I don't think any two people are going to agree. So who have you got at number 5 for your favourite tackles in the draft?
Right, well, the honourable mention didn't make the cut is Proctor, and I know a lot of people love him. I just don't like how heavy he is and how he moves and how he carries his weight. Like I said, I think he's got a lot of potential, but there's also a huge risk. So he's on the outside. So at 5, I have got Max Iheanacho. Like I say, 6'6", 321, 9-inch hands. Like I say, he's got a big time. Also had ran under 5 seconds. Had a good broad at 9'7", bench 25. Had himself a nice workout. Like I say, he has become an anchor piece for Tempe 2024. Started all 14 games at right tackle. Would take them all the way through to a playoff game. Like I said, this year started 12 games at right tackle, second team, all big conference. The base is the good thing. Like I said, the guy is built like 2 tree trunks. He's got lumberjack legs. He's very hard to move. The anchor point is very good. Like he's very hard to rock. Like I say, he absorbs impact well, and it's a big time run offense. Like I say, even the QB is running level. Like I said, he's got the ability and the agility to cut. Like I say, also get to the next level and also help lead guys out the way. So he's as good moving forward as he is going back. Like I say, he's had an interesting storyline. Like I say, born in Nigeria, came into football later in life, got a big time at college. Like I say, came up through like I say, I think he went JUCO recruit. So for 2 years, made it. Like I say, and had a big impact next level. He's young. He's physical, still finding his feet. I think he's got a great future on that right side at next level.
Yeah, I love it. I think the ceiling's what makes him so tantalising. I don't think his floor's that low either. Like you said, He's been at a team which runs for days and days and days. You've got to run block well if you're in Tempe. That's the whole point of why Arizona State play football, is to run the football. But I think he's great as a pass protector as well. You watch the Texas Tech game especially and think that defensive line, Romello Height, David Bailey, Skylar Gill-Howard, AJ Holmes and Lee Hunter, and he looked entirely at home in that game against the pass rush. Obviously, Arizona State, one of the few teams to beat Texas Tech this year. But he showed up really good when it mattered, and I think he's further along than people think that he is. But like, he's got all-pro potential if he reaches it. So I'm with you. I love him as a thought, and I think he's also one, if he sits a year, that might be the best thing for him, and to learn from a vested vet. That's why I like him in Detroit, to be fair. Like the perfect sort of foil for Borum to start for a bit and then put him in and let him go nuts. But yeah, I agree. I do love Max Iheanacho. And I agree with keeping Proctor out the top 5. We're 31st in pass block win rate last year. We need someone who can pass block as well as run block, and Proctor's all about the run blocking. We need someone who can do both to a better degree. Right, who have we got at 4?
4, I've got Caleb Lomu, left tackle from Utah. I've only got him, like, say, this low because he's just not the finished product. And I also mean that's a compliment. Like I say, as a true redshirt sophomore, like I say, but like I say, 25 starts at left tackle under Utah, 6'6", 313. Ward needs to gain a bit of weight and muscle. He is a bit lean, especially up top, which has hurt his game in recent years. Like I say, he is very much a pad level kind of guy. Like you say, he moves incredibly well left horizontally across the line. He's a great athlete. He's very fast and nimble. Got very nice light feet for a tackle. He's rarely rocked, like you say. He's rarely driven back. Like you say, can deliver a pop, but does need to work on that upper body strength. Like you say, get a bit more conditioning, sustain a bit more blocks going forward. Like I say, the run blocking is where, like I say, it needs a bit more work. Like I say, especially, like I say, driving guys back. Like I say, pass pro is more than happy to absorb people moving back. Like I say, can hold them up and do everything he needs to. But yeah, definitely got a high ceiling. The floor right now is pretty standard. Like I say, he's got a lot of experience. A team, like I say, that has got a rookie QB, or like I say, a young QB that's looking for a good potential blindside blocker to pair him with. It makes a lot of sense for him. He's got a lot of growing to do in recent years, but I think going forward, he's got the potential to be one of the best well-rounded young left tackles. Like I say, when he gains a bit more strength, like I say, just bulks up a little bit on the top half.
Yeah, I think Caleb Lomu gets a lot of unfair criticism. I don't know why. He seems to have been the one people like to pick on this year, but... And I know he didn't start like Farnoot did. He redshirted his first year, but he, like you said, took that left tackle spot there at Utah and never gave it back. And I think he's a lot better than people give it credit for. He's just a little bit of an older prospect, but I think he's been hated on way too much. It feels like if the hate translates into the draft, he's going to slide and someone's going to get an absolute steal with him. If he somehow makes it out the first round, I mean, you're calling to go up and get him there, so agreed totally. So who have we got at 3?
At 3, I've got Monroe Freeling. Let's say 6'7", 315. The arms are 34 inches. The hands are nearly 11 inches big. The guy is built like a titan from a Crunchyroll manga. Like I say, something like Godzilla rises up out of the sea to swap Tokyo. Like I say, he's 21 as well, turning 22. Like I say, that works in his favour, but also very inexperienced. Like I say, a one-season true starter. Like I say, 2024 did start a couple of games at tackle, did play multiple games, rotated out. This year, like I say, he did hold down his job for the first time. This is purely a projection pick. This will be, if it pans out in the right coaching, you're talking future generational all-pro tackle, because the physical tools are there, the brains are there, the speed's there. Like I say, I wouldn't want to plug and play him at left tackle as a rookie. I wouldn't want to throw him in at the deep end, but where you're taking him, you're probably going to have to. Like I say, can he play both sides? I'm not entirely sure as of yet. I don't know if he knows that either. Be interesting to see what teams do with him. I would absolutely love him. I hate the pro comparison of Broderick Jones from Daniel Jeremiah because I just look at him as a big 6'6" lump. I just don't feel like I think Monroe moves much better. Like you say, yeah, still a frame to fill out. Like you say, I think this guy is he could be the real deal.
Yeah,
It could be a flash in the pan and it fizzles out just as quick as it was there if the footwork doesn't or the anchor doesn't get there. So it's high risk, high reward.
yeah, it's just the run. You know, if the run blocking was as good as the pass pro, then like there'd be no doubt here. And again, I think it's just down to lack of starts overall. I think a bit more polish, and he's gonna get there. But for where he's at, like he's been tremendous. Um,
I would love
I
him.
just
He is the guy I'd love to take at 17 if he's there.
My only worry is that I think, we use a term, I think some people have over-egged the pudding with him a little bit. I think people have tried to push too much onto him because everyone said, oh, he'll go at 6 to the Browns, etc. I think you've just got to rein in the expectations for him a little bit. I don't want too much pressure to be put on him. Like you said, if it's 17, that's crazily good. I don't know if he's high enough to go at 6. I think that would be a bit, but we'll see with him. But certainly, he's got the ability to be an All-Pro for years in the future if they get him right. So, and I think there'll be a tackle tax this year, so it probably is going to go a little bit higher. I think people are going to go up and get these guys before they are off the board. Who do we have then at 2?
So to surprise people, Francis Mauigoa is not my best tackle in the draft. He is at number 2. Like I said, the big hulking Miami product. Like I said, I've got him down here in position. Like I said, I love what he offers. Like I said, and I love the fact he's not even 21 years old yet, which is just kind of scary to think about his body of work. And when you look at him right now, what he's got to grow into. Like I say, he's the heaviest of the guys I've talked about. Like I said, now he's 330 pounds. He's an incredible prospect. The anchor is there. He's so physical. Like I say, he's come all the way through high school. I think even in high school, IMG 5-star recruit. I think everyone knew this kid was destined to great things. Came in as a freshman All-American, started 13 games at Miami, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Like I say, to go straight in. Like I say, he has never really lamented at all. Then second team All-CC, started all 13 games at right tackle. First team All-American, 16 games at right tackle. He is a tremendous player. Like I say, by far the most experienced probably of everyone on the list. I'm talking high school and college. He has barely missed a beat in his entire semi-pro college career. Like he says, made that position his. He has got a big base. He's physical. Like I say, he delivers blows. He can knock guys out of their stride. He is by far the most polished prospect, I think, at the position. Day one, plug and play. You know what you're getting. He's played an incredible amount of snaps in the last 6 years. Like I say, and has always looked never out of place. Anywhere has been there. So like I said, some have mentioned maybe a guard, kick him inside. Like that just seems like a last resort. Why would I be even thinking about that right now before even trying it? Because he's won the jobs where he's played everywhere and started straight away at a tackle. I don't see any reason that should happen now. Like I say, so yeah, big IQ, a mauler, physical, and has done a great job of like I say, dealing with anything that's been thrown against him so far and worked out very well.
Yeah, me personally, there's not a team in the country that's better at getting their true freshmen as starter level than Miami. You think what they've done with some of these guys over the years. Ruben Bain started since he was a freshman. Mauigoa started since he was a freshman. Mark Fletcher started since he was a freshman. Malachi Tony's going to be the next great thing. Started day one as a true freshman. They're not afraid to put these guys in on day one, and they do a phenomenal job of developing them. And like you say, he's a true junior this year. Like he could have another year in college yet. He's young. He's still got so much to learn. And yeah, I don't care if he's just a right tackle only. We've seen what Sewell's done for us. He's revolutionised our franchise playing at right tackle. Penei Sewell has. I think Mauigoa is going to have that effect when he reaches the NFL as well. He's just a dominant monster, and there's just so much more for him to learn and get even better at. So, but I'm with you. I do think he is also the second best. But he is a phenomenal player. And yeah, again, I would trust these true juniors coming out of Miami. They're trained better than anybody there. Lisa goes back to Munro Freeland. I love Munro Freeland, but I think he will be gone at 17. 100% he will be.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, no chance. Like I say, I think there's going to be a tackle tax this year. They're going to be gone early. They're going to be gone really early. Ken Stouder goes, I think we should be looking at right tackle only to reduce the target size. Freeland is a left, but I like him also. I mean, going right tackle only means you don't have to trade up, really, potentially. So, yeah, you don't have to give up anything for it, and you can reduce it down a bit. And there are a few good right tackles to be had later on, so I can see that point of thinking. So who, then, do we have at number 1?
So number 1 for me is Spencer Farno, and that's because versatility, and we've seen it on tape. The guy is as comfortable blocking left as he is right. He's had an entire season as a true freshman where he started all 11 games at left tackle. Sophomore kicked him over, like I say, went first team All Big 12 in his first year at right tackle. Like I say, he's proved that he is versatile. He's also the best mover. I think by far he's got the best footwork and or speed in an offense that primarily wants to, like I say, be a move offense where, like I say, he's pulling, he's cutting, like I say, he's moving to the next level, and the offense is flowing away, or like I said, bootleg kind of plays. Once he's able to get hands on people, he moves them, like I say, when they're not stood straight up to him. So he's got great footwork, he's got nice balance, he's got incredibly good motor. Like I say, yeah, okay, when you straight up bull rush him, like I say, the anchor does need work, like I say, but that is not the. He's very much scheme dependent. Like I say, a team that wants to stretch the field, stretch players out towards the sideline and get him to the next level. He is where he's going to really punish players getting to those second and third guys. He's going to make them play. But yeah, love the versatility. I love the experience he's got as a starter. Long-time captain. Like I said, excels in run blocking. Good footwork that matches the upper body. Like I say, it's just the stationary stuff that needs to work on and polish. The pad level, get a bit lower. Like I say, the footwork, trying to get knocked off his first step. But things there, they're more technique that can be fixed. He's got a lot of the stuff that you can't teach somebody. And I think ultimately he's a guy that will interest a lot of people because he offers versatility in scheme-wise. And also, if you're looking, it depends which kind of tackle you're looking for, left, right. Like you say, he'd be fairly comfortable playing at either of those positions. A lot of these guys are kind of anchored at one side. They haven't really you can do both, but he has shown it at the top level so far.
I am 100% in agreement. I do think Spencer Farno is the best tackle in this draft as well, and not a centre like some people think he's going to be, which I think is crazy talk. But you've got to look at how these guys are viewed by their team as well to see how much is, to see just how special they are. Kyle Whittingham doesn't start true freshmen on his offensive line. That's generally a rule of thumb, which he doesn't do. He'd been at Utah for absolutely forever. He's produced some wonderful offensive linemen out of that program. They don't start as true freshmen. Spencer Farnu was a high school right tackle. Like, for his entirety of high school, he was a right tackle. It's where he plays. Him and Caleb Lomu both come in the same draft class to Utah. Caleb Lomu, also a very highly rated prospect who has played left tackle in high school. They both come up in the same draft class together. Kyle Whittingham plays Spencer Farnu at left tackle. He sits Caleb Lomu for a year and redshirts him because he's not ready to play just yet. But Spencer Farnu, the guy who's never played left tackle before, comes up into a team that doesn't start true freshmen on the line and immediately takes that left tackle spot. He then moves willingly back to right tackle. He wasn't moved to right because of poor play or anything like that. It's entirely his decision to move back. Caleb Lomu's ready, and he goes and dominates at right tackle for the future there. But that is the esteem in which a very highly regarded program and head coach put him in. He has been durable since day one. I don't think he's missed a game through injury. He's as well built as they are, and like you said, he's like Sewell in his athletic ability, the way he gets to the second level, the way he gets into space, how well he blocks, how great he's going to be for a run scheme that loves to do a lot of different things. And if you want to play him at left, he'll go and do it for you, but he'll be a standout right tackle for years to come. And I just think he has that athletic ability, the ability to move in space that none of these other guys really have. At least not on both sides of the line that can be done here. Like Sewell and Farnu would be crazy good for us. So I am 100% in agreement. I think Farnu is the best. of them all, and I just think he's getting insanely undervalued. And again, True Junior, young. I think he's only 21 at the minute. He's not 22 for some time, so just a crazy level of development still to go for him. It's just a great class. Top two guys, true juniors. So the tackles, we got Caden Proctor as the honourable mention. 5, we got Maxi Iheanacho. 4, we got Caleb Lomu. 3, we got Monroe Freeland. 2, we've got Francis Mawagoa. And 1, we've got Spencer Farnu. Ken Stouder goes, question, UT losing both tackles in the first round. Are they going to struggle next year, or are they deep at tackle? Without looking at it right away, Spencer Farnu was the highest rated offensive tackle prospect in Utah history, if I remember rightly, when they recruited him out of high school. He got beaten this year. They've got a recruit that's even better coming through the system. Just give me 1 minute. But is it Kelvin O'Boy, I think he's called? Kelvin Obot, sorry. He's 6'5", 265 pounds already, and he's a true freshman. In terms of starters, there's not much on that roster, but Kelvin Obot is going to be special, and there's a good chance he might start on that line this year, kind of like Farnu does. But yeah, Kelvin Obot's the highest rated recruit as an offensive tackle in Utah history, beating Spencer Farnu. So yeah, I don't know about their portal class. I will have to check. But I know Obot is the left tackle of the future, so we'll see what happens with him. Right, moving it on to the interior of the offensive line. This is guards and centres. Who do we have on the interior?
So at 5, I've got Keelan Rutledge. I've got the long-time right guard from Georgia Tech. Like I said, this guy is as physical as they come. Like I say, a long-time starter, senior, well-built. He's physical, tested. Like you say, he's got 17, like you say, 30. Like you say, he's got like 30, 40 stats at right guard throughout his career through Middle Tennessee. And like you say, up into the ACC. He's super strong and physical. Like you say, he has that power to, like you say, pop a guy, disrupt his stride. Works very well as a tandem as well. Understands the concept of, like you say, picking up dual blocks, and also helping out, like you say, guys either side of him. Understands working out leverage, how maximise guys, like I say, that are bigger or smaller. Got a good first step, like you say, sets the hands very well, delivers the blow, like you say, smooth, and then can get up to the next level. Incredibly tough guy as well. In 2024, had a car accident and almost had to have his foot amputated after having a devastating crash while en route to visiting Clemson, where he could have actually transferred to. Like I say, but that cost him his transfer, almost cost him his football career. But had a huge bounce back in 2025 despite a severe injury. Like I say, started all 13 games at right guard, was first team All ACC and a third team All American. This guy's projected to be, like I say, top 45 to 60 pick, could be a strong round 2. A long career starting to right guard and could grow to be a starter, I reckon, within at least a year of wherever he lands. I say especially excels in run support and run offense. I say making way next level, getting to those linebackers and those safeties. Physical, gritty, but also smooth, and has got good acceleration on straight lines here. Could be a key piece for someone going forward.
I love Keelan Rutledge. I'm glad he's in this list. Again, like you said, he's worked through a lot. Injury, started off at Middle Tennessee State, got no power offers. Like, absolutely was a demon there, and then comes up to Georgia Tech, and we know Georgia Tech, they love to run the football. He's one of the best run blocking guards in the draft. Period. It's their bread and butter there. He's been truly dominant, and I think the pass protection is better sometimes than he's given credit for. I think, what is he, 6'4", 316? The build is pretty good as well. Maybe put on sort of 10 pounds of muscle, 10, 15 pounds of muscle, like you say, just anchor a bit more in the pass pro. And I think you've got a really good, really reliable starting guard for a long time there. So I'm in agreement with you. Keelan Rutledge, great shout. Number 5. Who have we got at 4?
4, I've got Chase Bisontis, the guard from Texas A&M. Like you say, had an incredible combine as well. Ran just over 5 seconds, a 29 bench, vert of 32, broad of 89. Like you say, good 10-yard split, 176. Very good athlete. 6'5", bit skinny at 315. He's a bit slender. He's a bit taller guy. Like I say, he has to work a little bit harder for the pad level. But, like I say, has had a fantastic career in the SEC. He's a freshman All-American, SEC All-American. Did start as a right tackle. So he has actually started on the outside and kicked in. Found himself to be very effective, working on the interior of the offensive line. Like I said, 22-84, had an injury, but actually kicked to left guard. So he started at right guard, right tackle, and left guard in the last 3 years. Like I said, he's done a good job of being on multiple All-American SEC teams. So this guy is incredibly strong. He's got the core to withstand anyone coming right at him that thinks they can move him physically forward or backwards. They're going to struggle, and they're going to find that they say he will repel them really well. Like I say, once he gets hold of guys, good grip, he's able to move them, sustain his blocks going forward or sideways. Like I say, good poise, good strong run blocker, moves naturally either side. Like I say, can flow with the player and also help guys out there. Like I say, he's a well-rounded, strong physical piece. Like I say, he's young. Like I say, he's got great tools. He's got versatility. Like I say, he's got a frame that you can muscle to. I think, like I say, offers, like I say, is a nice depth piece. Like I say, can fill in at guard or tackle either side, especially on that right-hand side if needed to be. So I think he's got a lot of traits that you would cover as a guy that you want to take, like I say, and can fill in where needs be. Like I say, could be a long-term, long history player in the NFL, like you say, offering great backup and versatility all across the line.
And he's appearing in first-round mocks now, Chase Bisontis. And like you said, it's that versatility that he's played tackle as well as a youngster, and the sheer athletic ability that he showed. He is a really... The TAMU offensive line prospects have been rising a lot in recent weeks. I know Demetrius Crownover, the actual right tackle, he's been shooting up boards as well. They've both performed very well in the offseason. Bisontis is really good. When I did the AJ Halsey tape, there was a play on there where he absolutely pancaked the life out of Halsey, and that didn't happen very much in that game. He loves getting up and coming after these big safeties and big corners who come up in run D, so I can see why people like him. I think maybe first might be a little too rich for my blood, but he's certainly going to go very high there. So Chase Bisontis at 4. Who have we got at 3?
3, I've got Connolly. He's the only safety I've got. Centre got in top 5. I mean, I could have him a lot higher if it wasn't for the injury. But like you say, he looks to bounce back well from that torn ACL in October that cost him, like I say, the last half of the season. But if you're looking for a young centre prospect, like I say, that's still just about to turn 21, but a captain for the Auburn Tigers, he's got a great build at 6'3", 310. He moves very well. He's physical. He's nice and light on his feet. He's quite fast. The athleticism is there. He's able to snap, shed, like I say, quickly disperse, and then also then look up the next field and then work his way to the next level and look for someone to hit. I think he's a natural leader on the field. I think you're going to get him for a steal because of the injury. Like I say, if you're looking to replace a long-term retiring centre, like I say, he's going to make the ideal next guard. Like I say, I think he's a great prospect. He's still learning his trade. He's still got a frame that 6'3.5" can still put a lot of weight on. I think he's kind of a stash him now, and then in a couple of years you're going to see the benefit, and you're looking at maybe, like you say, a guy that has a big impact straight away, like a Creed Humphreys, like a Frank Ragnow, that could be a top 10 centre within their first 2-3 years in the league. So yeah, someone might get an absolute steal. If you get him, like you say, with your late second round, mid third round pick, and you don't need a centre this year, like I say, in 2026, 2027, like I say, you might have an instant starter on your hands there.
Yeah, I'm fascinated to see where the stock is. Like you said, this could be a fringe first round pick if he'd been healthy this year.
It's an interesting centre class, like I said. There's a lot of guys that are experienced, but they just don't seem to rank highly among the interior guys. Guard class seems incredibly high.
I think we're going to see some massive... I can't believe Jake Slaughter's in the 150s right now. I'm like, I don't get what people aren't seeing.
Like I said, you can get this guy for a round 4 or 5 pick, and like I said, the guy is a great college centre that could well start within 2.5 years.
Yeah, I don't get what people are not seeing with the centre class this year. I think it's tremendous, but hey-de-hoo, it is what it is. At number 2 then. Who have we got at 2 in the interior offensive lineman category?
At 2, there is a Emmanuel Pregnon. Like say the guard from the Oregon Ducks. Like say 6'4", 314, 11-inch hands. Like say he's got hands like say baseball mitts. Like say tested fairly well. Like say he's not a natural mover. Like say he's been around the block as well. Wyoming, where it took a long time for him to get going. He's an older prospect. He's been in college football a long time. Like I say, ended his season time there with 11 starts at right guard. Travelled to USC, where he then went and started 12 games at left guard. So he switched positions immediately when he became a Trojan. Like I say, USC then second season all Big Ten conference at left guard. Would transfer then into Oregon and flip. Like I say, would also split time between positions. He would have to start one game at right guard, but then would play the other at 14 of left guard. First team all Big Ten. Like I say, he's another one that has shown a lot of versatility. Like I say, he's very durable. Like I say, he's played through pain, through injuries. He's been, like I say, multiple schemes, multiple coaches. He's been asked to do a lot of things. Like I say, he's got a great build for a downhill blocker, a north and south guy that wants to go forward, wants to go back where possible. Like I say, he's strong. He's got a good build to work on. He's experienced. Like I say, he understands leverage. He's got a good pad level. And he's been, like I say, in some of the bigger programs in the country. So I think at this point in his career, he's seen it, he's done it, he's worn the t-shirt. A guy that, I'd say, I'm not entirely sure where his best position is, left guard, right guard. That would be someone to determine, like I say, whether they just do want to put him back at where he started his college career at right guard. But he's made the transition to left guard pretty well between being a Trojan and Duck. He's had a lot of experience there. Like I say, older rookie, but I don't care about that on the offensive line. I want offensive linemen to play as much football as they can in college. So by the time they get to the NFL, they are battle hardened, like I say, and they know exactly what their best position is here. Offers a very interesting prospect as a fringe round 1. I'd say probably early round 2 kind of guy, but yeah, offers guys potential plug and play straight away. At least will offer depth position, at least both positions could cover them quite adequately.
Yes, right, and then I will let you go straight on to your number 1, and I will be back momentarily. I'm just going to visit the little boy's room. So, Emmanuel Pregnon at 2. Who do we have at 1?
I mean, I'm not going to try to butcher it. Vega Ione. So I have got the offensive lineman out of the Penn State Nittany Lions. And goes without saying, redshirt junior, 6'4", 320, 10.5-inch hands. The guy's an absolute machine. He is a run mauler on the interior of that left-hand side. He is nasty. He plays with a chip on his shoulder. Like I say, he's a long-term guard at left hand. Like I say, first team All Big Ten, second team All Big Ten, honourable mention All Big Ten. Like I say, 5 starts, 16 starts, 11 starts, 4 games of reserve. He's made that left guard position his own in a fantastic run offense that works very well running between the tackles. Formed a great partnership with, like I say, the interior, moving guys out, creating large holes, pulling as well, moves very nicely across that offensive line. He's able to seal guys up on the edge when needs to be. So he's got good hips, the footwork, like I say, does need to get a bit quicker. He's a heavier prospect, like I say, being midway 330 pounds. Like I say, he will have to manage his weight going forward, but like I say, he's got the actual strength to move guys. Like I say, he's got a good high floor. Like I say, he's going to be someone that should be straight away starting, especially in the run game. You'll see the actual making a big impact, creating holes. Also, then, like I say, pass pro moving backwards. You see that heavy base, that anchor that he's got there will come in to help him. Like I say, nice pad level, good posture. Like I say, relaxed demeanour. But then when he plays, you see that that potential nastiness come out. Like I say, a kind of guy you'd love to see at 17 in between Penei Sewell and Mays, the new Detroit Lions centre, even he could be in that position. So we've got multiple bodies trying to compete for that left guard position. But if you want to go out and make a splash straight away, you could pass on them and put this guy in straight away. And imagine Ione and Sewell on the left-hand side of your line. that would be a pretty devastating pair, and someone like say that Jameer Gibbs would find a lot of fun running behind, I think.
Yeah, Vega Ioane there at one. See, I'm in the rare category here. I have always been more of a Pregnon fan than an Ioane fan, but I think it just comes entirely down to what you prefer, right? So for me, Pregnon's the better pass protector, always has been.
Yeah.
Wyoming and USC are kind of more pass heavy teams where he's had to do a lot more pass blocking. Obviously, Oregon, you're more split, which is where I think I've seen enough of him this year to know he's as good a run blocker. But Ioane is just devastating as a run blocker, right? And he's got the frame, the build, the athletic ability, and you can probably build in the pass pro with it. I think for me, it's just a personal preference what you like there. But, Ioane is crazily good. Pregnon's really good. I think they're both going to be long-term starters in the NFL for sure. So, yeah. We've got as our 5 top interior guys, Kalen Rutledge, guard of Georgia Tech at 5. Chase Besontis, offensive guard out of Texas A&M at 4. Bless you. 3, we got Connor Lew, centre from Auburn. 2, we got Emmanuel Pregnon from Oregon. And then 1, we've got Vega Ioane from Penn State. That is the offense. Let's immediately go into the defense. Are you split between tackles and edges or just D-line?
I've got DT and DN, yeah.
Right, let's do DNs then to start off with. DNs, who makes your top 5 at 5?
So at 5, I've got Keldrick Falk, the lanky edge rusher out of the Auburn Tigers. 6'6", 276. Like you say, he is a tall, lean prospect. Like I say, had a very good career at the Auburn Tigers. Sets the edge very well. Like you say, I like him in the run game. That is for me where I first think that, like I say, he is a good job at setting the edge. He's got discipline. He's able to make guys bounce outside, or he's able to kind of stop it there, which for me is, like I say, the ceiling of a young high player. How good are they at doing the basics first? How good are they at setting the edge? How good are they in run support and bringing these players down, crashing down, like I say, collapsing that pocket, giving them options, know where to go. Like I say, while he works on his pass rush still, like I say, the traits are there, the technique he's working on. He's still very young. He's an upright player, but he's got a great frame. There's a lot of bend. There's a lot to like about him. Like I say, he's got good movement. Like I say, for this, I think he just needs to work on his striking, the hand work, like I say, delivering the blows, where he needs to work with a bit more force. But I think that'll come with more experience. Like I say, he's a somewhat underdeveloped project. Like I say, he's a bit of a project player. His age, like I say, he's still growing into his frame. So I think, like I say, working his way upfield is something that he'll be working on. Like I say, if you can put him in on the early run downs where he can generate a bit of pressure and also slow down teams, get them behind the chains, he'll earn his reps then going forward as a pass rusher. So I really like him as a player that is young and he's working hard to get the basics and the dirty stuff right about his game first.
Yeah, I love him as well, and generally he's not the kind of, traitier based prospect that I kind of like to go after, but I'm with you. I think the run game stuff's good. Again, true junior, so only been in there 3 years, he's a younger prospect. But for me, he has shown that pass rush upside that, that he's shown he can do it. That sophomore year, was it 8 sacks, 12 tackles for loss, getting in the backfield plenty in the SEC against some good opposition. Like, he showed his chops in year 2 that he can do it. It's just kind of like a lot of other guys. You didn't see it this year, even though, you got Keon Crawford and guys like that with him. But for me, he's shown he can do it, and he does have a history of doing it, and it's in there. It just needs to be unlocked again. So I am quite high on him because, as I say, traits are there. Production is somewhat there as well. You put them both together. I think he's going to be a superb player, give or take. He might take a bit more time to get in a team than other edges at this point in the draft, but I'm okay with that. I think, especially for Lions, if you want to run DJ Wonnum out there for a little bit, then fine, and let Keldrick Falk get good at what he does and then unleash him when the year's done, go for it. So yeah, I'm big on Keldrick Falk as well. I quite like him there at 5. Who have we got at 4?
4, Akeem Mesidor. 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 I know, yeah, he's old. He's been in college a long time. He's had injuries, but if you're looking for a guy that's ready to rush the passer, that has got a big tank with a long motor that shows endurance, hustle, urgency from the snap, this is your guy. Like I say, as soon as the ball snapped, he's working his way upfield. Like I say, he's physical, he's heavy, he's got power behind his hands. He ultimately has got the ability to get to the quarterback, if not at least flush them out the pocket, and then those that are all then hustling, chase down, and hopefully, like I say, be able to get his hands on and bring him down. But yeah, he's going to get a lot of pressures at next level. It'll just be about him turning them into sacks and also getting those opportunities to make plays in the backfield while showing that big effort, that big tank he's got. Like I say, that relentless pass rush technique and that good technique that he's got in run game. Like you say, he has got the ability to show urgency. Like you say, he does move well. Like you say, he's got good burst across short areas. He's not a long speed guy or a long distance guy, but he is able to win inside. Does like to pick on guards. I think he's got a good base for that sense. I think ultimately be a flavour of the month. Do you want, like say, high upside rookie, like say, just a true junior, or do you want a guy that's been around the block, done it, like say, and he's got worn all the t-shirts?
Yeah, my only problem with Messador, I mean, again, I don't mind the age stuff and that. It's just that line he's played on, and I always ping guys who play on good lines. You've got Bain on the opposite edge, and you've got Ahmed Moten and Justin Scott at defensive tackle, which is one of the best returning D tackle pairings next year. It's just, can he do it himself? Can he make the opportunities for himself in maybe a situation where he could be the primary edge rusher on a team from day one if he goes in round one? I think he could be. They're just little extenuating circumstances that maybe don't have him round some of the other guys I have there, but I can buy it. In terms of just pure pass rushing, like you say, he is one of the better ones in this draft. Again, he's been around the block, got plenty of experience, and he puts all that to his knowledge. So we've got Akeem Mesidor there at 4. Lisa, I'm guessing Lisa doesn't know then. Yeah, unfortunately with Brent passed away at the beginning of March. That's why you haven't seen him round. We only found out a few weeks afterwards. So yeah, that was incredibly sad. So and I miss having him on these shows because he was one of our biggest fans on here. So that's why you've not seen him recently. Unfortunately, he passed. So yeah, obviously thoughts with him, his friends, and his family. With his friends and family, sorry. Moving back into the DNs, we're into top 3 now. Who comes in at number 3 for your DNs?
3, I've got TJ Parker out of Clemson. Like you say, he tested incredibly well. Like you say, 6'4", 263, but still ran a 468 combine with a 10 feet broad jump. The guy is athletic as he is productive. Like you say, had an insane 2024 where he started those 14 games, had those 11 sacks, 20 tackles for loss, score record, 6 forced fumbles, was put in so many opportunities to win. Like you say, natural pass rusher. Like you say, he's got those finishing ability. Like I say, numbers did fall a lot in 2025. 12 games, only 5 sacks, 9.5 tackles for loss. Is a concern the drop off in production. Did we see him peak too soon? Like I say, were there factors, like I say, other guys helping him in 2024? Like I say, 2025, that team, Clemson, fell off as a whole. Like I say, and all their numbers did fall down. But yeah, like I say, it's a powerful edge rusher. Like I say, that has got good strikes, good hands. Like I say, his physical line of scrimmage. He's proven across his college career that he's a potent finisher when he gets in the backfield. He knows how to win. He's also, like I say, those fast moves. He's great at locating the ball in a crowd. He's good at finishing it. Like I say, bringing guys down, but also got a nose for the football, trying to dislodge it, rip it, punch it. Always in and around the box, like I say, causing trouble wherever he needs to be. Should be a high impact player at the next level. Like I say, could be got with a very affordable draft pick, like I say, and should work his way into rotation and hopefully become a starter sooner rather than later for most teams.
I love him. I'm with you. I think the lack of production is not. It's not a. It's not a skill problem. I think it was a team problem. Like we say, you saw a lot of other guys on that line struggle this year. Peter Woods struggled as well. I know Will Held had a really good year, but I think overall the scheme didn't help. That Clemson defense was full of stars, and they didn't really deliver. So, but my absolute perfect draft is trading back like 10 spots and still getting TJ Parker, like getting some high-ass draft picks to go back that far and still walking away with him solving one of the biggest needs on our team is like absolute dreamland for me. So hopefully that might be that's something that could potentially be on the books. We will see. We're going up into the top 2 now. Who is at 2 on your defensive end list?
Well, it's Ruben Bain. He is not my first overall. I know he is, like say, most guys' consensus, but nope. Like say, for me, he is number 2. Like say, I have had, like say, I'm not buying anything that's happened with him recently. The news, like you say, it's not. It's been there, it's done it, it's all news. Like you say, people are dragging up stuff about him, like you say, that people are long aware of. Like you say, the situation has been dealt with. Like you say, so for me, it's a non-starter. Like I say, people are trying to bring down his stock. Yes, only 6'2". The arms are short. Like I say, people say he's built like a little velociraptor, like a little T-Rex. But 263, the guy has got incredible strength. Like I say, the guy is a force to be reckoned with off the edge. Has an absolutely stellar career. Like I say, freshman All-American, honourable mention All-ACC, second team All-Press American 2025, ACC Defensive Player of the Year. The stats just talk for themselves. Like I say, how physical and how explosive he is. Like I say, off the edge. Like I say, plays with, like I say, a real chip on his shoulder. Seems like quite a nasty guy once the ball is snapped. Like I say, comes in there with serious aggression. Like I say, explosion, can go through you, can go around you. It's got all the physical tools and traits needed to be a top level pass rusher at next level. Has done incredibly well and been very productive throughout all his years in college. Like I say, it puts together a nice piece of blend of, like I say, agility. Also, like I say, he's got that movement. Like I say, he's got a bit of, he can drop the hips. Like I say, so the bends there, the hips there. He's a flexible guy to say he's a bit shorter and stockier, but then also can turn on the pure aggression and just go through a man and drive him right back if he needs to be. So yeah, finished product coming in right away. High floor means straight away, instant sack getter at the next level.
Outside of styles, he's still the dream. Ruben Bain is like, for a guy his size, he bends like light round a gravitational force. Like, he's just amazing in how he can bend at his size. Like, he can hit you on the edge. He can hit you with the bull rush. He can do whatever he damn well likes with you. And he still is the dream for me right now. So yeah, I agree. Bain is tremendous. And I hope to God that he falls. Let this slander campaign continue and push him in our direction. So at 1, who've we got?
At 1, there's only one man it can be. It's David Bailey. And that's because he's got everything Ruben Bain has, but for me, just in a more prototypical, more well-rounded NFL frame at 6'4", 250. Also running a 4.5 40-yard dash and a 10.9 broad jump. The guy is just, for me, he's more athletic. Like I say, the arms are longer, the hands, like I say, but had an absolutely incredible season at Texas Tech after having a great underrated career at Stanford that has long been forgotten because he was such a big impact player on one of the best defenses in the country, one of the real underdog stories of the season. Like I say, won multiple awards, tied the FBS with 14 and a half sacks. Like I say, another 20 tackles for loss. Like I say, playing 14 games with just 13 starts. Like I say, and he is he's lightning fast. It's the moment the ball is snapped. Like I say, the first step, he covers so much ground so quickly. He leaves offensive linemen thinking, like I said, he's gone in a flash, and he finds it very difficult to handle him. Like I say, no gloves, no armbands, no nothing, just bare hands because he knows that's all he's got. Incredible grip, the handwork, the explosion. He's got everything he needs to be. He just plays off natural instinct and determines where the play is going before the ball is snapped and how he can make an impact on it. And it should be straight away looking to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's going to, whatever, like I say, odd front, even front, like I say, further out, wide nine, bring him inside. Like I say, there's going to be a lot of people wanting to do a lot of different things with this man, but he's going to make an impact straight away.
Yeah, this is the pass rushing magician, and this is a day and age where we've lost a lot of that, like the true pass rushers, because of all the run game stuff and the expectations around the NFL. David Bailey is what you want if you want to kill a quarterback. And he's done it, like you said, ever since he stepped foot on the field at Stanford. He did it in a Stanford team which has been poor for the most point. He was the focal point there. He was worth every single penny that Texas Tech played for him in the portal, under a lot of expectation, and he delivered. Like, he's the magician who will kill a quarterback for you, and he can do it in any number of different ways. And yeah, I think the run defensive stuff will come along with him, but the art of pass rush is something that needs to be rediscovered in the NFL again, hence why I think he's going to go so high. And like you say, he's got the prototype shape to do so. So I think they're 1A and 1B. They're interchangeable, really, but both fantastic players. So the DNs, we got Keldrick Falk at 5, Akeem Mesidor at 4, TJ Parker at 3, Bain Jr. at 2, and Bailey at 1. Tackles, who've we got at D tackle, number 5?
5, I've got Christian Miller. I've got defensive tackle from the Georgia Bulldogs. I say 6'4", 320, 10-inch hands, a redshirt junior. Like I say, he's had a good career there. Like I say, he's played in multiple games. Like I say, played in 12 games. Has got a good amount of sacks. Like I say, he's definitely not a guy that's pursuing the quarterback too frequently. He's not a guy that is going to bring him down often. Like I say, he's a good physical, strong impact in the centre. Like I say, he's very good at lining up under the nose. Like I say, can play either side of it. Like I say, point of attack straight away. Looks to get pad leverage, looks to get under guys, looks to use that frame, and like I say, throw off their body movement, disrupt their balance, like I say, and looks to get in those run gaps and those run lanes very quickly, and either bounce guys out or bring them down there and then. Very much a not flashy player, but hopefully very productive in the right front and can slot in and be a starter as a strong, like I say, either as a nose tackle or as an interior defensive tackle, especially in a strong run game. Like I say, a preference D coach, yeah. I think he could make a good impact as a rookie, especially rotating in on his early downs.
Yeah, I love Kristen Miller. I'm way above consensus amongst a lot of others, and he's just one of those, like you said, he does all the unsexy stuff, like the stuff that you don't stop to consider, like any job that is beneath the flashy, sexier pass rushers, he's the one who does it for you. He's a great nose tackle. I mean, he's just one of those at Georgia. You didn't very often hear his name, but when you watched how that D-line played, it revolves around him just space eating in the middle and just been an absolute menace, as a good nose tackle should be. Now, I know people hate on his size and whatnot, but Georgia D tackles built differently. Their defenders are built differently. I just think he's going to be, like you said, he's going to be really solid. He ain't going to win no Defensive Rookie of the Year awards, but if you go and say he might be the most consistent defender in his rookie year in the NFL, then I wouldn't put it past him. I think he could be that good. So I agree. Kristen Miller there at 5. Who've we got at 4?
4, I've just got a lot long guys. I've got Banks for 6'6", 327. Like I say, I know he's got that insane build that you just can't teach, but the foot surgery, the frequent foot injuries, like I say, throughout the years, the build, he's so upright, the pad level, DT, it all kind of just concerns me. Don't get me wrong, like I say, he's been incredibly productive, like I say, when he's been on the field. He has been a menace. He has shown that he's actually very much capable of being a quarterback bringer. Like I say, he can get there. He can bring them down. He's physical. He gets the ball out, causes turnovers in the run game. Like I say, he's been very good. Also on special teams, like I say, he's had shown the ability to use that huge frame, blocked kicks in his time. He's very versatile, can be very much moved all up and down the trenches. So he is a potentially a unique piece at that size up and down the interior of a defensive line. Like I say, it's just going to be, can he stay healthy? Like I say, can he find ways to win against those top guards at the next level? Can he make the most of that big build? Can he keep these pad level down against those pro running backs? Can, like I say, make sure he's not out leveraged because he's a very tall guy? But if he puts it together, it could be a very disruptive player at the next level. that size, that experience. I hope, like say, shakes off those injuries, stays on the field, and you could see a guy that could turn into an every down kind of guy, like say, moving up and down that line and giving all people on the offensive line a serious thought and, like say, head scratch.
Yeah, without the injuries, could be a top 10 pick in the draft. Like, that's his ceiling, and, he can be that good. So it's going to be entirely down to how healthy he can stay, because I know he picked up a minor knock in the pre-draft program as well, which was not great for him. But, like say, just a rare athlete at the position and could be sensational at the next level. It's just how much are you willing to trust in that foot. But we will see. Going into the top 3 for your D tackles, who's at 3?
3. Is this too high? I don't know. I've got Lee Hunter. I said I really like him. And like I said, I think he did not get enough love compared to, like I said, David Bailey. Even like I said, Romello Height. Like I say, felt like it took a lot more plaudits on that TTU line than, like I said, that Lee Hunter did. But he played his part in being a very strong interior. He's able to get to the quarterback. Like I say, shown that despite, like I say, he's a big boy, 6'3", 1.5", like I say, 318. He's got a great build. Like I say, he's physical, strong point of contact. Did he test well? Were the combine results good? No, don't care. Like I say, being an athlete has never really been that big of his game. Like I say, he isn't going to win a race. He isn't going to beat you over short yardage. Like I say, but what he will do is he will bring a bit of muscle, a bit of strength to interior. Like I say, he will start at the nose. He will kick out inside. Like I say, he's got strength. He's got length. He's got hands. He's got the physical tools, the nasty nature, and out to win on the interior and then work his way upfield. Did chip in with a few sacks last year and a few tackles for loss. Showed really well, like I say, that he's strong and physical presence, taking on centre heads on, and then also can work his way through the gaps. Yeah, he was an integral part of a Red Raiders defence that should have got more love for it going as far as he did. So yeah, early down space eater, like I say, will swallow up blocks, will make guys think twice about running his way, slow down an offence, like I say, and as they start to tire, like I say, hopefully then he can capitalise and make some plays.
I'm 100% with you. This is not too high. I think he is entirely disrespected. Lee Hunter, and I've gone on record
He's got
saying this.
6'9" wingspan.
I
So
think,
for a short guy, wide
yeah,
ones, he's
I
absolutely huge.
I think that, and I've said, I think he's the player in this draft I least want to end up in the NFC North, because I know what he can do to a run game. And Lee Hunter's going to be, he's the perfect epitome of how high do you value a run-stuffing nose tackle. Like, it seems crazy to me in this day and age of the league where we're always on about how good are your D linemen at defending the run, just how valuable that is and how much flexibility you want with it. People are desperate for it, but then you get these great big hulking nose tackles which are absolute specialists at it. They can't do much against the pass, and then people are like, well, I don't really want that. I want a guy who can rush the passer as well. It's like, kind of pick your poison. Getting a guy who can do both is tough, and I think for any team looking for a stable interior against the run, he has best nose tackle in the NFL capability. Lee Hunter does very quickly, and yeah, he might not get you 7-8 sacks a year from the interior. He might get 1 or 2, but what he's gonna do is he's gonna shut down some of the best rushing offenses you'll come up against in a year on his own. He's that good, and I just don't get the lack of love for nose tackles just because they can't pass rush. But we look at it the other way round, and we're like, well, yeah, we really want the run defense. So, and he's not just been on that special Texas Tech team, has he? He did it at UCF. Like, on that UCF team, he was the standout player, the man, and everyone was after him in the portal. No one cared about his lack of pass rush in the portal. Every team in the country wanted him when he transferred out of UCF. So I'm 100% with you. In terms of D tackles and the caliber they're going to bring to the next level, Lee Hunter is one of the best you'll find. Period. Just don't think about it too much. Just have a good pass rushing 3-tech next to him and you're set. So yeah, that's where I'm at there. Into the top 2. Who've we got at 2?
2, like I said, 2, I've got Caden McDonald. Purely for the fact is, he's the best run best early round run defender I think you're going to get on the interior. The guy is a bloodhound. The guy is always around the ball. He has got strength, physicality. Like say, he got a serious pop on the pad level. Like say, he gives nightmares to centres. Like say to guards, and he got a lot of tackles for loss this year. He is just naturally a great guy at flowing side to side, working his way through traffic, using his build and bringing down running backs. Like I say, he will make his bread and butter. He'll make lots of money. There'll be millions of dollars on him just playing on rundowns. He will not be a guy that you has to get after the quarterback. You want him to shed blocks, eat space, and stop guys coming his way, and then hopefully chip in, get behind the line of scrimmage, and do those big tackles for loss. But yeah, a guy that has got the energy, the motor, and the tank to play all downs on the interior and hopefully punish any running backs that come his way, like you say. But yeah, will not do the pretty stuff, but should go on to hopefully have a very good rookie year, like you say, potentially starting, like you say, as one of those two interiors on an even man front or heads up, like you say, as a nose tackle on an odd front, depending on what you play. But yeah, he has got he has got a very high tackle rate. Like you say, he is a guy that has found a way to make lots of solo tackles on running backs, working through traffic.
Yeah, I think he'll take a Tylee Williams-esque thing where he'll get some really
Very
good
much
reps in his first year.
Line, I think, yeah.
Yeah, you're doing him not as a pass rusher, but as the unsexy guy in the middle, but who's going to play three downs for you potentially.
NFL coach DJ Reader. That tells you what you need to know, because Tylee Williams came in to be the next DJ Reader.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to follow a similar thing. I think a team will take him. They'll put him. He'll be very much in the rotation, and by the end of the year, he will probably be starting. When all's said and done, probably a team who's got a vet who they want out the door. He'll be a replacement for. And then at number one, who do we have?
Number one, it felt like there was only one guy here. It's Mr. Peter Woods. Like say, because I still remember him, like say, as one of the scariest players in the country when he was at Clemson, when he was riding high. 6'2", 298, so he's smaller, he's lighter, but he has not let that stop him at all today. Like I say, that 2024 season, like you say, was an absolutely stellar year. 3 sacks, 8.5 tackles for loss, 28 tackles. Like I say, he started between D end and DT, so he's rotated up and down the line all the time. Like I say, also did come in as a fullback and play some halfback and goal line. Like I say, this year, like I say, second team All-Press American, started all the games, 3.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. Like I say, shown that he's incredibly strong and are physical, despite having that small frame that at 300 pounds is probably not going to fill out much more. Like I say, he wants to keep himself fairly light, slender, but he's muscular. Like I say, he's capable of both schemes. Like I say, he can play on even, odd fronts. He's happy to play kick out wide a bit further, and then, like I say, try winning on the inside. He'll come up the middle if needs be. He's shown that versatility at Clemson, that he can get to the quarterback and get to the running back. That's where he needs to be. So I think he's going to be a very solid starter for years to come. Like I say, he's an angry little elf. Like I say, shorter, thicker. Like I say, he plays with an attitude. Like it's been a lot smaller than some of these guys. He doesn't play like it.
He strikes me very much in the Mason Graham type mold. You know, people try to go after his height, but he's just an absolute menace. He will destroy an interior pocket, and he'll just ruin game plans for you when he gets there. And unlike Mason Graham, who had a wonderful end to his career there, I think he's stalled. He's kind of like Parker, but you've seen what he can do. He's clearly going to do it at the next level, providing he lands in the right system. I think it's still an easy choice for me for him being D-tackle 1 Peter Woods. He just strikes me as like he's just going to go to work every single play, and he's going to be an absolute nightmare. I mean, if he's there at 17, I guess. I don't know if we need another D tackle there, but I'd be thinking about it. Him, Tyleek, and Aleem would be absolutely crazy doors, but we will see. So with the D tackles, at number 5 we've got Kristen Miller, nose tackle out of Georgia. At number 4, Caleb Banks, D tackle out of Florida. 3, Lee Hunter. We love Lee Hunter on this podcast, nose tackle out of Texas Tech. 2, we got Caden McDonald, nose from Ohio State. And 1, we got Peter Woods from DT, and echoing sentiment to Ken and Lisa in the chat mentioning about Brent. We had the whole Go Navy, Go Army thing. I've renamed my Discord to Go Army in his honour there. So yeah, it's sad to see that. Right, we've just got 3 groups left now, and then we're done. So linebackers, gonna be interesting to hear this one. Who makes your number 5 at linebacker?
Honourable mention was Kyle Lewis. But
Honourable mention?
But honestly,
Alright, me and you gonna fall out now.
I might put him on my safety list. I know he's going to be a weak side linebacker, but he's very much a tweener.
Okay.
And
Okay. I respect
I don't
you.
like it, but I think on the right scheme. If I'm looking for a pure, traditional linebacker, like say that can play across centre field. So at 5, I've got Anthony Hill Jr.
So,
Right.
yeah, go on.
21-year-old out of Texas, 6'2", 238. I mean, he didn't finish his career like he started it. He came in like a bat out of hell, like say the freshman All-American, had an incredible 2023. Like I say, looked like he was about to change the game. Like I say, but Texas was riding high then. Like I say, 5 sacks, 8.5 tackles for loss, 2 BBUs. Like I say, and that was just in 6 starts. 2024, second team. Like I say, got his first interception, had another 8 sacks, had another 4 fumbles. This year, did play with a broken hand. Like I say, he did, I feel, but he still chipped in with 4 sacks, tackles for loss, 70 tackles, and led the team with 3 forced fumbles. The guy has proved that across the last 3 years, he is able to take the brunt as a 3-down linebacker, especially in the run game. Like you say, he's got a great nose for the ball. He's got a great punch. He's very physical. He moves well in the box, comes downhill hard, happy to work in traffic. Like you say, can shed the blocks. Like you say, it's just coverage. And we haven't had to see too much. It's not been asked too much of him at the collegiate level. How good is he? Like say, if someone's going to ask him to make those big impacts, like say, very much like say, it could be a zone kind of guy. I won't put him in man coverage, but he's shown that he's got more than enough production, physical tools, and prowess in around the box to make himself hopefully a household name in a linebacker rotation.
Yeah, I think he's hella underrated. I think for me, he's just got lost behind Colin Simmons, right? Everyone is waiting for Colin Simmons to declare next year, and I think because they play similar-ish roles, he's kind of like just been the big brother who's been sort of outshone by the younger, like generationally talented one, and a lot of his work has gone unnoticed, but he is a great player in his own right. I do agree. And, you know, from that outside linebacker spot, he's going to be a menace at the next level. And you see, he screams versatility. You can play him as an inside linebacker as well. You can kind of move him around and do what you want to with him, but he's just been a definition of consistency. So I agree with you, and he's just been lost around the bigger, flashier name of that program, and maybe that'll mean he's a bit underrated in this draft. Who knows? I know... I can't remember who now, but there's someone who definitely listens to this pod who is a massive, probably the leader of the Anthony Hill Junior Support Club. So I can't remember who it is. I apologise if you're listening, but yeah, I know there is a lot of love for him there. So Anthony Hill Jr. at 5. Who have we got at 4?
Oh, got CJ Allen. Like I say, I got the Mike linebacker out of Georgia, 6'1", 230. I mean, in a nutshell, very safe pick, high floor, captain, experienced green dot guy, play caller. He works very well in traffic. He's very comfortable in and around the box. Like I say, he doesn't overreact. He doesn't take bad angles. He's a patient. He waits for, like I say, players to develop, comes downhill, makes plays. Like I say, he's strong, good in run support. Like I say, physical. When he is at times asked to be dialed up as a blocker, I mean, as a late blitzer, coming off the edge, stunting up the middle. He does take advantage of gaps that do prepare themselves. He's not going to force his way through. He's not that physical, but when the chance does come to then flush the QB out of the product, he is then able to then turn on the motor and show that he has got the ability to then make an impact and disrupt the play in that sense here. Should be a good, defendable, smart, high respected player as a rotation. Should do well, and like I say, should be part, like I say, dependable in a run game, and hopefully should be able to make his way onto a roster and then become part of a rotation for many years to come. Like I say, not many flaws to his game, just not a big, high impact splash playmaker.
And you said it right there. CJ Allen suffers from the what I'm coining as the unsexy tax. It's like with nose tackles, like pure thoroughbred inside linebackers, and that is just your job. Get, I think they get pinged nowadays because, like you say, they're not sexy. They don't do multiple positions. They don't come up and rush the passer a lot. They don't, they just they're your green dot guys who kind of just keep the engine running, and they're the leader in there, and they just move at that spot, and that they get taxed for being unsexy. And I think CJ Allen's suffering from that this year compared to some of the other splashier names around him. So yeah, again, I think someone's got to get a really consistent player, a guy who can be a team captain for years to come, who's just going to keep the oil. He's going to oil the machine and keep it ticking nicely, and that is very valuable to a side. So. Yeah, I'm with you. CJ Allen at 4. Who have we got in the top 3? Who's at 3?
3, Jacob Rodriguez. Like I say, he is everything you want in a player in a Polly Pocket pint-sized package. Short arms, like I say, he's lighter. He's short on some of the guys, but like I say, the combine, he blew it up. The drills were fantastic. He showed every bit of everything we saw on tape. He backed up everything we saw. The guy he covers ground in the blink of an eye. Like I say, moving left to right, moving horizontally, moving vertical. He is incredibly gifted athlete, and he's very quick. He covers ground incredibly well. Like I say, the nose for the ball is outstanding. One of the best peanut punchers in the game. The skill for getting into a pile, coming out the football, or forcing it out, finding ways to dislodge the football, better than nearly everyone in the country. Like I say, needs to slow it down sometimes. He plays everything at a million miles an hour. There are, like I say, some coverage whiffs, like I say, where he bites on players. Like I say, it's a bit too urgent sometimes. Like I say, but that's just in his nature. That'll come with more experience, slow it down a bit at times. But ultimately, for a playmaking linebacker that could play every down, like I say, he could be a star at the next level. Has left college after just scooping up every award and becoming one of the most household names in the country. And there's no reason that shouldn't move forward into the next level. Be amazed if there's no way he makes out around 2. I think the question is, like say, how high will he go, not how low, and just what impact, like say, what kind of scheme will be placed into.
I mean, yeah, he's just had one of the greatest collegiate seasons for any linebacker ever, right? He won the Butkus, the Bronco Nagurski, Defensive Player of the Year, Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. There's not much more he can do. When I did the Epic mock the other week, he went to, I think it was 19 to Tampa. Do you believe he could truly go that high? I think he should be in that conversation, but it's the first time I've ever seen him go that high in the teens.
It won't surprise me because you've signed Anzalone to mentor him in coverage. They've just had the retirement of a long-time NFL legend, Devin, so they've got a big need, like say, a position that needs some youth. I think it'd make a lot of sense. I
think they're the ones at 19, Tampa. I could be wrong, but he definitely went in the teens. I think it was either Carolina or Tampa, but I want to say it was Tampa. But I agree, that is actually a really good landing spot for him, so I would like to see him there. And then we're at the top 2. Who is at 2?
Sorry, people, but it's Arvo Reese. He's not the best linebacker because I don't know what he is. I know he'll be an impact maker. Did I want to put him at defensive end? Thought about it. Can he prove to me, can he play traditional linebacker? Can he be split time between Sam, Will and Mike as well? Then, like I say, be a pass rusher. Like I say, so I've put him in the linebackers. Yes, he's young. He's athletic. The frame is crazy. He's shown that he's got a knack for being able to make plays in the backfield and do everything it needs to do to be a destructive player in all facets of the game at the next level. He will be completely scheme-based, being the off-the-ball linebacker that some people want as a pass rusher. So it'll be ultimately flavour of the week. Like you say, he's still young. He's still raw, even though I don't like the word. Like you say, finding out where he fits best and who's going to fit best. But he's got everything he needs to be an absolute monster at the next level. Like I say, if he gets to the right level of coaching and you maximise the best parts of his game. He's just at 2 because for me, I just want a higher floor. I know I'm getting a higher floor from number 1. in, like I say, especially when it comes to the skills and coverage that are required.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Arvel Reese is a very good football player, but I think again there's just one guy who kind of trumps him in that. But it's interesting just to see where he goes, because obviously this is the whole conversation around two now and what he could be. I feel like people are getting the Micah Parsons bounce right, like the guys who have played inside, but then they're like, oh, what can you do with him on the edge? Is he the next Micah Parsons? So there's an unsexy tax, but then there's like a Micah Parsons bounce, or I don't know what you call it. I don't know what you call it in that direction, but you get a little bit of love for having that. So I agree with you. I think we all know who's number one here. I think I said one of the favourite players in the draft, but take it away. Number one.
Yeah, it's Sonny Styles. I have two blue chip defenders in round one: Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles. If you want two guys to fit in straight away, elevate your defense, they will battle it out for Defensive Rookie of the Year. This guy, like I say, is going to marshal. This guy will have the impact Jack Campbell had. Like I say, he will take the green dot within a year, whoever's got it. He's a leader. He will call the plays. Like I said, the build is just insane. The athleticism, the IQ, the quickness to diagnose players. Like I say, he will become a serious threat in all aspects of the game. Like I say, his pro comp is Fred Warner, and that's for a reason. He's going to be a leader. He's going to lead from the front. He's going to help that front seven get better wherever he lands. Like I say, and then when, like I say, that time does come where the ball is loose over the middle, he's going to scoop it and he's going to take it to the house, and you're going to see that crazy 40-yard dash speed. So yeah, he has got all the tools and traits to be a potentially generational player at that position, and he will move around like a chess piece and do everything. He's a cross between Fred Warner and Kyle Hamilton, because he's also got a high school background at safety and understands, like you say, seeing all the field, dropping back in coverage, and also breaking on the ball when he can. So yeah, he's going to put up some crazy numbers, I think, as a rookie if he lands in the right place. I'd hate to see him wasted on a terrible team.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with you totally. He's just one of those, and I know when players are really good, it specifically for me, I think they're really good when every time a player's made, you hear their name. And I wasn't looking at Sonny Styles at all. You watch the Ohio State defense, and then you just heard Sonny Styles, Sonny Styles, Sonny Styles, and you're like, Christ, like this. I'm trying to watch this guy, and I end up watching this guy. And it seemed like every time you were trying to watch someone on Ohio State's defense, you just ended up watching Sonny Styles. Like that's the kind of player he is, and that's the kind of impact he's had on them. And I'm with you. I think he's by far and away the best linebacker in this draft. I mean, he is. I keep saying Bane's the dream, but I think there's more chance of Bane falling than Styles falling. There's no... Sonny Styles should not be anywhere near a double-digit number. And if Sonny Styles isn't a double-digit number, I'd be, like, banging the door for Brad to go and get him, because just take the best players you can. He is that special. So the linebackers, the honourable mention is Kyle Louis. We'll revisit that later. 5, we got Anthony Hill Jr. 4, CJ Allen. 3, Jacob Rodriguez. 2, Arvel Reese. 1, Sonny Styles. Right, just 2 groups left to go. And we will go with the corners first.
We'd split the corners, but we'll leave slot corners. I'll just go with the natural corners.
Yeah, we'll just do natural corners and and then the safeties.
Well, my honorable mention for the actual corners is Treydon Stukes.
So cornerback.
I almost put him in at 5, but I say had a tremendous rise. Like I say, and is very much a fringe potential top name at corner. But at 5, I've got Chris Johnson from San Diego State. Like I say, he has been a huge riser in this current college off season. Like I say, he's shown this year. Like I say, had a great workout. Like I say, he's shown all the physical tools needed. 6 foot, 200 pounds. He's got the size, the build, a crazy 4.4 speed, the broad jump at 10.6. But like I say, he's backed up this year, like I say, with a core Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year. Like I said, defended 1.17 passes per game, which was 9th in the FBS. Tied the team with 4 interceptions, 2 pick sixes, started 11 games. Like I say, also got a sack, 3 tackles for loss. Had a tremendous, was one of the best cornerbacks in the whole country this year. Like I say, he's shown that he's able to play inside and then break out. He can play an outside. He can use the sideline as his friend. Like I say, got a good tight back pedal. The hips work. He's disciplined. He doesn't like to jump stuff. He doesn't gamble too often, take those huge risks. He takes what he can. Like say if the ball's placed, he goes and gets it, and he's got the ability to high point the ball on those 50 catches here. I think he's going to be a. I think it could be a shock. I'd be surprised how high he goes. I think could catch a few people out.
For me, he's an elite technician. That's his calling card. He is one of the most technically proficient corners you will find in this draft. And I think if people go, oh, he's at SDSU. He could have moved. He could have gone to a massive program and earned a lot of NIL money, and he stayed there. And he performed incredibly well. But technically, one of the most proficient corners you'll find. The only thing I'd like to see more from him is his strength when it comes to his press coverage. Some of the bigger guys in the NFL might get at him off the line a little bit, but you put him, deep one-on-one against most guys, I think he'll find a way to win. He is really impressive. I love the loyalty he's shown to the program, and again, I just like technicians in all aspects. He certainly is that. So I'm with you. I think he's going to. If he went first round, it would not shock me. If he goes to the end, one of those corner needy teams, sort of towards the back end, I wouldn't be shocked at all. I don't think you take the school into note here at all. I think you take the talent in there. He was, and I mean, again, I think it's a pretty good school as well. In terms of what it's done with its DBs in recent years, most have gone on to bigger ones. This what's his face's younger brother is in this draft as well. Oh God, what is it? The old Utah corner. There's two of them. Both SDSU corners are in the draft this year. Christ, why am I forgetting him? No, I'll have to come back to it. No, I've lost it. But yeah, both SDSU corners in. But yeah, Chris Johnson definitely should be in the top 5. Just a quick shout out, by the way, Ken Stouter talking about the tornadoes in Michigan. Yeah, I hope everyone is safe from the inclement weather. We've been watching that over the last few days. As soon as we're done on the stream, I will watch, because I like watching the storm chasers, because we don't get weather like that over here. But hopefully everyone is safe from the inclement weather over there. So yeah, obviously we want you all to be safe. So I'm glad you're well, Ken. Yeah, hopefully it eases up there for you really soon. And Lisa goes, I would love Kyle Louis. So would I. 3 positions in one player would be awesome. Right, number 4, Ryan. Who have we got number 4 in corners?
Oh, Colton Hood, the redshirt sophomore, Tennessee, 6 foot, 193. Like I said, primarily a man corner. Like I say, it's going to be a lot of press man coverage. Like I say, he doesn't give big cushions. He's very aggressive line scrimmage. He likes to come down hard. Likes, like I say, try to disrupt the route early, and then, like I say, try and get on top of it. Like I say, he has got speed on the back end, but primarily wants to keep everything in front of him, stay on top of him. He comes down very hard in run support. He's very aggressive. Like I say, he's physical line of scrimmage. He's happy to get stuck in and bring guys down there. Got some turnovers in recent years. Had a pick 6 this year, had 2 interceptions for Colorado, had multiple pass breakups. He's very physical point scrimmage. Probably will get penalties at the NFL. A lot of press man heavy rookies do, because they're very handsy. He's a very handsy player, but so far he's towed the line very well. Like I say, has been a bit of a bully in that sense. So if you like a physical guy, like I say, that's going to be all over a guy and not give him any room to breathe, like I say, this is one for you, I think.
Yeah, I like Colton Hood. I think he's going to be a very good player at the next level. And preferably, I prefer him out of the 2 Tennessee guys, even though he might not have the ceiling of the other one. But he's got the production there. Who's at number 3?
3. I've got Avian Terrell. I know he's under 6 foot. I know he's under 190, 5'11". Like I say, and he's not had the big off-season workout. But I still think he's been very productive. Like I say, he was a big part of a Clemson secondary that only, like I say, 2 years ago was probably one of the better ones in the country. Has held his own on the outside. Like I said, had 9 PBUs this year. Had 3 sacks. He was very good this year in blitzing and coming off the edge, making his presence known at the quarterback. His ability to cover ground very quickly and also be deceptive and hide what his true intentions are. 4.5 tackles for loss. So Terrell's much better in run game support. Like I say, bringing down guys that are much bigger than him and much heavier. This guy does not shy away from contact, despite a smaller, slender frame. He's a very well-rounded player. Like I say, he's athletic. He moves well. Like I say, he can go up and get the ball, dislodge it in 50-50s, doesn't shy away from competition. So I think he's a very well-rounded, polished player that's got the best of both worlds. Good in coverage, but won't shy away from run support either, and also gets stuck in behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I love Avian Terrell. I know his size has been pinged a little bit, and I know the combine numbers didn't blow away, but he is physical as they come. I think he holds the Clemson school record for forced fumbles in a year because
Yeah.
he just comes and hits you like an absolute truck when you're running at him. He's built to defend against the run really well, and when he's sat in zone, the eyes are so good. You see a lot of the interceptions, he jumps routes. And they're like the special guys in coverage when you constantly see them jump routes all the time and they know what's coming. I think he's tremendous, Avion Terrell is, and if we were in the market for a corner, he'd probably be one of my favourite ones to bring here. But yeah, he will hit you hard. He'll jam that ball loose. He will be an asset in a run game. He'll be a day one starter in the NFL, depending on where he ends up. But yeah, I love me some Avion Terrell. Who have we got at 2?
At two, I've got Jamad McCoy. Like I say, yes, lost all 2025 to an ACL. Is that a big red flag that scares me? Yes. But I looked before that. Like I say, you saw a player that had 6 interceptions and 16 passes defended between 2023 2024. Like I say, like 6'1", 190. Like I say, he's got all the tools, he's got the traits, he's got the physicality, he's got the production. Like I say, he's done it. Different schools. He's done it, like I said, recent years. Like I say, he's very opportunistic. Like I say, he's got great eye and ball hand-eye coordination. Like I say, he's more than happy to get stuck in and run support where needs be. But as a true guy that's able to come in, take the ball away, and go up against those bigger, stronger outside receivers, like I say, he's got everything you really want from him. Like I say, it's just going to be how quickly can he get it back? Like I say, when does he see the field? How high are you willing to take a chance on him? Maybe not making an impact as a rookie, someone you're stashing away and banking out next level, but might well be the best corner in the class if he can recapture that form that he had pre-injury.
And this is the question with him. I don't think there's any doubt that he's probably got the highest ceiling of every corner in this draft. Me, personally, I don't like how he bailed on that team last year when he could have played. I don't like the fact that he didn't test at all until his pro day, when pro day conditions are more favourable for testing. But in terms of his actual talent, you can't deny that he probably is the best corner in this draft. The only issue, and I will say this with a pinch of salt, apparently, and this has been confirmed, some teams have taken him off the board because they believe the knee injury is degenerative. Whether that is true or not, but apparently it is. Some teams believe the injury is degenerative, and that would explain why 15 months after the ACL injury he hadn't been testing and he didn't want to do it at the combine. But that was the combine medical that supposedly flagged it as degenerative. So it depends, like Ryan says, are you willing to risk potentially a first round pick for a guy who may just not play at all or might have a very short career? And in the Lions case, I don't think we want to do that, given we've got a safety who's potentially already got a degenerative knee condition. But there's no denying his all-star talent or caliber potential. And so then at number 1, I guess this means there's a guy from the Bayou at the top.
Yep. From the Bayou, but was made as a hooker. Like I say, Mansour Delane, best defensive back in the draft, in my opinion. Like I said, the guy is just waiting. He's just a shutdown corner. Like I say, the catch percentage given up this year, the QB rating when he was targeted, it's all just, like I say, bottom of the barrel stuff. He just literally gave up nothing. Like I say, a couple of interceptions, but it's just not been his game at LSU. It's just sticks to you like glue. The timing, like I said, the release off the line of scrimmage, the top end speed. He mirrors, he trails, he does absolutely everything. He dislodges. Like you say, he gives up very little separation. It's a big risk ever throwing at him. Like you say, he was absolutely tremendous all year. And as a hooker, like you say, he was an absolute ball magnet. Like you say, before he transferred, had 4 interceptions that year and also had, like I say, 7 PBUs. So the guy is by far the most mature, well-rounded corner in the class this year, and also played for a lot of injuries this year and still would not leave the field. Like I say, just played through them, showed a great age of maturity, turning 23, very experienced through, like I say, those 4 years from VT to LSU. Lots of football under his belt, productive wherever he's played. Like I say, could flip between man, flip between zone. He'd be probably pretty comfortable in scheme. Like I say, immediately to me, like I say, screams day one starter. And like I say, it won't surprise me at all if you look back in 5 years' time, by far one of the best players in the whole class. I absolutely love him. If
Yeah,
he's there at like 14, 15, I'm thinking about it.
yeah,
Do I
yeah.
need a combat one? Debatable. Am I still going to get one? Absolutely. I'll worry about it after I've got him.
Yeah. No, I really love him as well. It's kind of similar to AJ Halsey. He, he chewed his teeth at a smaller program, was really productive, got a big move to the big program, and didn't disappoint. Was just looked the part. So yeah, I agree with you. Mansour Delane up at number 1. So cornerbacks, we have an honourable mention to Traden Stooks. Number 5, Chris Johnson from San Diego State. 4, Colton Hood. 3, Avion Terrell. 2, Jamod McCoy. And 1, Mansour Delane. And to finish it all off, we've got the safeties. Who've we got at number 5 for your safety class?
Might be a reach, but I have Genesis Smith. Like I said, my honourable mention, it was between him and Bud Clark, but like I say, he's bigger. He's younger than Clark, like I say, the production's there. He's got, like I say, off the charts athleticism, like I say, at 6'2", 200 pounds. Like I say, it's how you kind of want them built. He's also had fewer injuries. Like I say, he's got a lot of football under his belt. 13 games in 2023. Like I say, played 10 starts in 2024, started 12 games this year. Like I say, he's seen a lot of the field in the last couple of years. Like I said, a lot of turnovers, a lot of production. Like I say, this year you saw 8 PBUs, you saw 77 tackles. I believe that was, like I say, led the team, all state good team. Like I say, multiple Big 12. Like I say, he's always in and around making plays, and he's a very productive guy that's a ball hawker. Like I say, issue will always be it's tackling. The missed tackle percentage, especially in the open field, is bad. He dives at feet, he tackles with his head down. Like I say, when you put your head down, you lower your eyes, your body feel it. He has got to get more astute. Like you say, he's got to make himself bigger and start to commit himself a little later. Like I say, diagnose the situation. So yeah, probably going to go on day 3, but I'm going off top 5 potential. If you can fix up the messy open field tackling, and if you can work on, like you say, get that the ball hawking skills are there. He is a big time potential guy that can take away the ball if you can work on that. So yeah, you're talking diamond. Like I say, one of those diamonds are drafting an absolute steal in a couple of years. Like I say, this guy might well be that guy.
Hey, stand up for your guys. I will never be against that. We got Genesis Smith of Arizona at 5. Who makes your cut at 4?
As you mentioned, I've got AJ Halsey. Like I say, I've been a big fan of, like I say, what he's done in recent years. He put a nice big bow on it as the Tigers this year. Like I say, good prospect at 22. Like I say, turned 23. Like I say, had his senior year, 6 foot, 215 pounds, good build, ran a nice 4.5, 40-yard dash. So he's shown his straight line speed. Like I say, cut his teeth, New Mexico, Houston. Like I say, was a tremendous player throughout, like I say, his time in the Big 12 and in the Mountain West. Like I say, played a lot of football, 12 games, started all 12 games, then he'd finish his career in Houston. Like I say, 12 games, all Big 12. I say now he's gone first team All SEC. He's taken the right through football. Like I say, did have an ejection this year. Like I say, but that's fine. Like I say, I can live with that suspension. Like I say, it wasn't great, but had a stellar year. Like I say, 4 PBUs, 88 tackles, forced fumble. Like I say, always in and around the ball, great in the box. Like I say, because go through his career, 87, 98, 74, 88 tackles. The guy is a tackling machine in and around the box. He is a true box safety that's got the capability to drop back into coverage when needs be, but he will do the basics of the game very well right now. Like I say, he's got a small, slender but muscular, compact frame, and he uses it to his advantage.
I love Halsey. He's one of my favourite players in the draft period, and I think he's got the potential to be, in 10 years' time, the best safety out of this class. Yeah, he's just an absolute ball. He sits there and watches the QB better than anybody for me. He's got sneakily good athleticism. Again, just has this natural ability to jump routes. He gets a lot of his interceptions. Not just thrown at him, he makes the opportunities for himself and he positions himself so well. He's tremendous. And like you said, with the ejections, I think having a safety who gets ejected makes them more of a tantalising prospect. If you're a safety and you've never been ejected from a game of football, you're not playing it right. I mean, just look at that safety you guys had last year who nearly killed Rocco Becht. I mean, if you want to be a safety, you've got to learn how to get ejected. That's why I love Brian Branch so much. So yeah, Halsey at 4, but yeah, he's one of my favourite players. Period. Who have we got at 3?
The best G5 prospect in the whole draft. You got Emmanuel McNeil Warren. I mean, at this point, he feels a lock to make the first round, if you believe what people are saying. 6'3" and a half, £200. Like it says, an incredible season. 4.540, maybe might have been the winner of the whole combine. He's rocketed himself into that first round impact. Had a absolutely electric year in the MAC. Like you say, first team All MAC, 77 tackles, 2 interceptions, 5.5 tackles for loss. Like I say, had an injury that cost him the end of 2024. He was playing incredibly well, so it's a shame. Like I say, because he was already at 61 tackles when he got hurt. But like I say, very good. 2023 tied the FBS third with 4 forced fumbles. The guy has got a nose for the ball. He's a long, physical, rangy tackler. He is great in the box. He comes downhill hard. He uses that big, long range. Like I say, he's got a great wingspan. He's a physical specimen, like I say, but then he's very happy to drop into coverage, anticipate those players across the middle, like I say, break on the routes, go after the ball. He's a very well-rounded guy, does his best stuff at line of scrimmage and should rack up a lot of tackles and should chip in a couple of sacks, especially on those blitz plays this year. Like I said, tackles for loss will make a big impact in and around the game and punching it out. So I'd expect him to be a pretty productive rookie. Like I say, should be interesting to see where he lands if he does actually work his way into the end of the first round.
Yeah, I think he's going to be there or thereabouts. I feel like he's one of those who slid a tiny bit, not because of anything he's done, but I just think that the small school might potentially go against him a little bit. But yeah, like you said, he's going to be day one star in the NFL. I don't think there's any doubt there, the way you see him play. He's just been tremendous. So we're in the top 2. Who is number 2 on your safety list?
2. I mean, 1 was easy. 2, I got Dylan Tyneman. Like you say, he's the 4.3, 4.35, the blazing 40. Like you say, the broad jump. Like you say, today he's only 6 foot, £200. Like you say, so he should be a good athlete, but he showed incredible athleticism at the combine. Had an absolutely fantastic year. I mean, at Purdue, the guy was like, say, had some like legendary seasons. He was the best player on a downright terrible team. Like it's that 2023 season where he ranked in all those awards finals, had 74 tackles, 6 picks, 106 tackles, 2 PBUs. Like you say, then had that down season, like you say, where he had no interceptions his final year, but 7 tackles. I put that down more to Purdue, not to him. Like you say, I did down year, but got the big move to Oregon. Like you say, proved it this year, 2 picks, a sack, did better stuff towards the line of scrimmage. Was a bit more of a menace, I thought, in the run game. Another 5 PBUs. Showed, like you say, he's got that versatility to play in and around, like you say, centre field, and also drop back into coverage when needs to be. So between strong safety, free safety, like you say, bander, roving, nickel, whatever you want to call it, can play multiple positions, can rotate down of defence, should prove to be a good chess piece for teams that are looking to add a bit of a star factor to their back end. Like saying, should be in high impact rookie straight away wherever he lands.
Yeah, I love it. He's the kind of safety I like. Long, rangy.
Kind of player, if we
Just
took
makes
at 17, would probably upset a lot of players. I secretly would actually be super excited by him.
Yeah. Like I said, I remember the Purdue days. Like
Straight away making an impact.
we were uber excited about him at Purdue. I don't know if Oregon was the great landing spot for him. Kind of like Coy Carp, who's gone there this year. I'm devastated he's gone to Oregon, but yeah, Dylan has shown. I think he's the most exciting of them all. Obviously, number 1 is tremendous, but yeah, Dylan Tyneman, I absolutely love him there at 2. And then I think we all know what's coming at 1. But finish us off, Ryan. Who is number 1 on your safety list for the draft?
Yep. Here's the only other, like I say, second of the blue chip pure defenders in this class, the first round. It's Caleb Downs. It is Mr. Do It All. It is, like I say, the safety, the linebacker. Like I say, you could play corner if you asked him to. The returner, his special teams weapon. Like I say, that he's just a facet and dangerous every kind of way he can touch the ball. Like I say, and it's all in a modest build, just 6 foot, 205 pounds. He's nothing special to look at when you think about some of the builds out there. But like I say, the kid all the way through high school has been a serious, legit playmaker on both sides of the ball. He's done it every which way possible. Like I say, he's won nearly every award possible. Like I say, he's shown, like I say, in his run support, absolutely fantastic. Like I say, got sacked this year. Like I said, half sack last year. Like I said, but 2 interceptions. Like I said, he got 2 interceptions. He got 2 interceptions. The guy has been a credible playmaker on the back end now for multiple years. Won nearly every award. Has got a knack for taking the ball away. Shows up as well, mostly in the biggest games where he can. Like I said, makes the big plays when they're needed. Like I say, and should just excite defensive coordinators. The things you'll be able to do with him at the next level. Like I say, the nickel players where you can put him, like I say, on the tight ends, the running backs. You could just flex him out to be a corner as a big package if needs be. You can play with strong safety, free safety. Hell, if you want to let him return kicks as a kick returner, he's got multiple experience through high school and entering college as a kick returner. He can do everything. He's just going to make plays whichever way you put him on the field and will be an instant sensation wherever he lands.
Yeah, there's not much more I can add to Caleb Downs that has not been said already. He is that damn good and just a true junior as well. You always knew he was going to be special, and yeah, one of the best players in the draft period. So safeties at number 5 we've got Genesis Smith, 4 AJ Halsey, 3 Emmanuel McNeil Warren, 2 Dylan Tieneman, and number 1 Caleb Downs. I love safeties, and yeah, this class is good as any. But next year's, I can already tell you what next year's top 5 is going to be. KJ Bolden, KJ Bolden, KJ Bolden, KJ Bolden, and KJ Bolden. I might stick Coy Perich in there as well, but you know, I just yeah. KJ Bolden might be my favourite prospect of all time. Period. So you'll hear that name a lot next year. Massive thank you to Ryan, who has done all those lists there for us, all the top 5 to positions. I didn't realise it would take this long, but hey, it is draft week. These are one of the last few times we're going to talk about this draft class, so time is no issue there. Ken Stouter goes, just sent you guys a 0 trade mock. Lisa may like this one. Let's make this the last thing we do. We will do, I know I said we'd do offensive linemen returning to college today, but we have got a long time on this, so we will do this mock draft to end out the show when I can get into our emails and find it. Where are we? There we go. Right. What do we think of this? Oh, hello. I think this is 0 trade mocks here. So overall, I love the first 2. We've got Spencer Farnu at 17, and we've got Gabe Yakis at 50, the edge out of Illinois. Oh, I like those first 2. That's
a big edge setting, tone setting guy on the edge, like I say, with a high powered motor, and like I say, my number 1 tackle in the draft.
Yeah.
What more did you want?
Yeah, I love Gabe Yakis. Gabe Yakis is the technician specialist at edge, and at 50, he's the best you're going to get there. So I can certainly get behind that. At 118, we've got Devin Moore, the cornerback from Florida. At 128, somehow he gets there. We've got Kyle Louis, the linebacker from Pittsburgh. That is insanely good value. At 157, we've got the Iowa guard, Bo Stevens. 181, we've got Zane Durant, the DT from Penn State. At 205, we've got Jalen Husky, the safety from Maryland. At 213, Marlon Klein, the tight end from Michigan. And then at 222, to finish it off, we've got Jam Miller, the running back from Alabama. I don't know about you, I quite like that draft. Some of the value late on.
I like the Maryland safety. He's been very productive.
I think Yeah, I don't know why. Maryland's just one of those teams I just naturally don't seem to like their prospects because they've been such a bad team for so long. I don't know whether it's just, word association with them, but he is much better. Zane Durant at that level, I could stomach. I don't like him very much as a DT, but at 181, he's got more than enough upside to guard that. And then, obviously,
I've
Kyle.
not done too much in college, but as a prospect of a big piece mismatch weapon, I
Yeah.
mean, you can take a flyer on him, like you say, that late.
Yeah, yeah. I like that. You've done a good job there, Ken. If that would be the 9 man, the only one I'd probably change is Devin Moore. I'm not hugely popular on Devin Moore. I would probably go for someone like Charles Demings or something at 118. But outside of that, you've done a pretty good job with that. So yeah, well done there, Ken. Right, as I say, we will save returning offensive linemen for next season because God, we're going to be done seasons there. So is there anything else you want to mention quickly today, Rye? Anything else? We've got one more show left before the draft, so
No, like I say, it's interesting. Like I say,
it is.
I'm hoping a lot's going to happen in the next week. I mean, we're going to surely get some stuff that shakes up the draft.
Yeah, I would hope so. Hopefully we'll get some moves then pre-Monday before we do the first round mocks, but hopefully there is something there. Ken goes, I think Maryland and Kentucky are similar. They always have star players, but teams not go for odd. I love Kentucky players even though they're shite. So I don't know. I just have to learn to love Maryland a little bit more. I've been so disappointed by them for so many years, but yeah, I like Kentucky prospects, but via V. So we will see. Right. So in terms of next shows, we'll be back Monday with our first round mock drafts. I will probably do a Q&A on Friday. It'll be the last one because obviously the draft is here. So any last things you want to ask, get them in for the Friday night Q&A. Me and Ryan will be back next week, hopefully, if Ryan's able to. We will do our mock draft sim challenge, which is always good fun. That'll be the last bit we do there. And then the draft is done. And then, Christ, on to next year. Another year, another dollar. And then, yeah, we'll have the draft shows coming up. We'll go through all those at another time. There's loads coming up. We've been going a long time. Just remains me to thank Ryan. Appreciate you for joining, as always. We're a week away from the draft. I'm looking forward to it so much. Thank you to Ken, Lisa, Mile Marker, everybody who's been in the chat this evening for all your comments and questions and mock drafts and bits like that. So, yeah, thank you ever so much. We shall see you all again soon. Just remains me to thank Ryan. One Pride worldwide. Let's get that draft here and ready. See you later. Bye.